Adelaide. Bang, and there it is, right on cue.
Defending for their lives. The Prince Alfred stepped out of there. Dennis Stroy's got it.
We've got to make the ground. We've got to make this count. Take the ball and raise it now. Make the noise go crazy loud. It's all moving, let me hear.
Jake Tucker's taken off.
They're a game of percentage clear. They sneak a win today.
Duke, you're outstanding, man. Well done. Congratulations on the flag.
Oh,
A bin chicken.
Your 2024 premiers, the Port District Football Club. Congratulations, you legends. You are the best team.
G'day everybody, welcome here to Campbelltown Memorial Oval for a massive game between Rostrevor and St Peter's Old Collegians. If Rostrevor get the job done today, which they desperately need to, they will find themselves firmly inside the 5 after a disappointing loss to Salisbury North in Salisbury North last weekend. But meanwhile, St Peter's on the other side, if they get the job done here today and Port District don't fire at home, it will be a massive result that would see them go top of the Adelaide Footy League BTR Excavations Division 1 ladder. But as always, a massive thanks to our sponsors, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ITC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. And with thanks, as always, to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. G'day everybody, welcome here to Campbelltown Memorial Oval. It's going to be a great game between St Peter's and Rostrevor. I'm going to start with the man who just has all the knowledge of this game. Adam Jeffries, how are you?
Yeah, very well. Looking forward to the game. Like I said, when the top 6 play each other, it's going to be big ramifications for the ladder. Both teams need a win. We should see a great contest.
And of course, I mean, Wizard Jack Vanwell, you're magic, you're running. What have you been doing this week?
Nah, not a lot, Lockie. Just ready to take my place on the boundary today, on the debut on the boundary, so it should be good fun.
And a massive welcome back as well, of course. Called with us a couple of weeks ago out at Port District, but now you're back and ready to run that boundary. Adam, I mean, let's start with both teams. What can we expect from both of them? Obviously, they both need a win.
Yeah, St Peter's, super impressive season. Love what they're doing as a footy team. They've got all bases covered. Rostrevor have been a little bit up and down. They weren't too bad in the wet last week against Salisbury North, big bodies, but they need a win today really badly, Rostrevor. Otherwise, they'll put themselves vulnerable in 6th position.
And of course, I mean, Jack, what can we expect from the conditions today? Have you been having a look at the weather on the weather app?
Yeah, it should be great conditions for footy today, Lockie. About 14, 15 degrees. No wind to speak of right now. There might be a little gust come through here or there. No rain. And yeah, there's sunshine at the moment. Bit of cloud cover, but yeah, it should be great conditions for an exciting game of footy today between two very, very quality teams.
And there's no wind, nothing else to really speak of. It's perfect conditions out here. The Oval has held up pretty well considering it's already had 2 games on it already by the time we go live. Just kind of talk to us around the ground conditions.
Yeah, not to mention the wild weather we had last weekend as well. I don't think they played on it, so it would have got chopped up to bits last week, but it looks pretty good at the moment. There's a few muddy spots and it's a bit soft, but should be really good conditions for a good game of footy.
Just before we do throw to the ad break, Hayden Swanbury and Ryan Lim, 100 games each, so massive congratulations to those boys from Rostrevor. But on the other side of this, it's going to be live. It is going to be Rostrevor taking on St Peter's, and we'll see you on the other side of this.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New 氷結 Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice.
Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Well, g'day everybody, welcome here to Campbelltown Memorial Oval. Match day live, and it is going to be great fun. I cannot wait for this one. Who is going to win? Well, we've just got no idea. That is simply how it sits at the minute. Rostrevor, they are fourth on the ladder at the minute, and St. Peter's, they find themselves sitting in second. Having a look at the ladder now, it is going to be absolutely huge. Port District, St. Peter's, Golden Grove, Rostrevor, Salisbury North, Sacred Heart, Glenunga, Prince Alfred, Payneham Norwood Union, and Broadview Tigers. That is the order 1 to 10. When you have a little bit of a look at that, what do you think there, Adam?
4 games of footy to go. Lots can happen. Glenunga is safe. That's what I saw last week. Prince Alfred or Payneham, one will go down. We know that for a fact. Good luck to both those teams in the run home. But let's look at the top 6. That's where the action is. It's so tight. So Sacred Heart have fallen to 6th after being top of the ladder only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. That's incredible.
Shock loss to Glenunga. We said last week, Lockie, didn't we? In those conditions, upsets can happen, and it did. So well done to Glenunga. They're now safe in Division 1. They can reload for next year.
Yep.
Second versus fourth, it's always exciting. Like I said, one of these top 6 teams is going to miss the finals and not even make it to the elimination final, whether that be Sacred Heart, Salisbury North, Rostrevor, or even Golden Grove. I think the top 2 are safe unless something weird happens.
Yeah,
Golden Grove, an incredible winning run. I think it's 7 or 8 on end now. So yeah, it's an exciting finish to the season at the bottom of the ladder, but most importantly at the top end of the ladder.
Yeah, of course. And you have a look there just on the wins columns, just on the season outlook now, having a look as well. Payneham Norwood Union, a win. That was when we thought Payneham Norwood Union would probably be playing finals as well. So we're a little bit shocked with that one there. And then
made a few tipsters a little bit silly Payneham, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, my tip looks ridiculous almost now back at the
Did
start
you have
of
a
the season.
Payneham versus Prince Alfred grand final?
I didn't. No, I had.
Not a relegation battle?
No. Well, to be fair, even if I had, I did get a grand final in some kind of way. The winner was going to be going up. I was going to be staying up. As we see Rostrevor come marching out. Don't they look fit and ready to go? A massive game for them as well. So, as of course we mentioned already, they sit in 4th. A win today could send them up to 3rd, depending on what happens, obviously, on the other side with Golden Grove. But, of course, there's so many, I guess, kind of thoughts and that flying through everybody's head at the minute. You know, everyone's trying to do the finals calculations. Who's going to end up where? Of course, St. Peter's, that disappointing loss. Not disappointing, but unlucky, I guess, in a way as well. Lost to Port Districts at Port Districts. That was after the siren. Then, of course, they went unbeaten for 5 games in a row. Then the loss to Salisbury North. That was a pretty good win to the Hawks looking back. Then another 3 wins in a row. Golden Grove, they've been in some fine form at the minute. They look like they might beat just about anybody. They had a small slip up there. Now across the other side of the ladder, wins to Payneham, Glenunga, and of course Prince Alfred in the weeks previous. But I guess when you have a look at that as well, they've beaten teams that you'd probably expect them to beat, if that makes sense. They've beaten teams that are not going to be playing finals. You have a look at their run home, take Broadview out of it, because obviously they are not going to be playing finals. But Rostrevor, Salisbury North, shock. All teams that are going to be hunting for finals, all teams that could possibly upset them. that's going to be the 3 weeks there where they're going to have a bit of a run in. They're going to have a bit of a run in, and they're going to actually understand what September's going to look like.
Whichever way you cut it up, St. Peter's have had a sensational season. 3 losses, 1 to Golden Grove, who are hot, 2 after the siren.
Yeah.
And this is a team that the last 2 seasons has been in relegation battles and been lucky to stay up on both occasions. So they've had a sensational season, and they're eyeing off top spot. Most impressed with how they play and the coverage they've got around the ground as well as we look at the Rostrevor lineup, Lockie.
Yeah, I mean, you look through there, Lanzoni, he's always good for a couple of goals. Nistransky, really like the way he goes about it as well. Obviously there, I mean, I'm not going to run through every single player on the list, but there are 2 we do need to point out. You're looking at number 27, Hayden Swanbury, and number 8, Ryan Lim. 100 games for both of those gentlemen today. So massive congratulations to them. Obviously, you know, it's not easy to play 100 games of, I guess, any division. Where obviously there would have been mixtures of Division 2 and Division 1 in that record for them. So a massive congratulations there. Aside from that as well, really, I thought Patrick Baldwin had his moments last week. He was taken on a far more experienced ruck than himself. And I thought he, at times, halved the battles. Obviously, it was very hard. Russo, in the end, kind of dominated as Salisbury North went on to win that game. But I thought they played really well. Finn Wakeland, no matter where he plays, he can play kind of anywhere at the minute. Ruck, centre-half back, centre-half forward. I've seen him thrown around for Sturt a lot back when he was playing under-18s for them. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes as well. Anyone else I might have missed?
What Rostrevor have, Lockie, is they have a very even team, right? So when we go to see some of the teams play like Golden Grove, we know who the star factor players are. Rostrevor don't have star factor players. They have 21 guys that have a crack. Obviously, they've got guys like Tranfer that have played some high-level football.
Yeah.
But what they've got is 21 very even. And they're spread across the field, which is why they've had a really good season, you know, coming up from Division 2. And to be in the position they're in, I probably pre-season didn't tip they'd be 9-5. They were 9-4, like, narrow loss last week. They've had a really good season as well, but again, it's going to be one unlucky team. They don't want it to be them.
Yeah, of course. There always seems to be one unlucky team, whether it's an unlucky team that goes down, an unlucky team that misses finals. That's just the great thing about this division here in the BTR Excavations Division 1. Of course, you're having a look at the St. Peter's team. I mean, you go through it immediately. I look at both Bedford brothers. I love the way those guys go about it, so it's going to be super exciting to see them. Obviously, as well, interesting, Bedford cousins, sorry, not brothers. I will make an apology there. But then, of course, I'm having a little bit of a look around the other side as well. The Allen brothers all in playing together. I think the last time that happened was the last time we saw St. Peter's 2 times ago, if that makes sense. So it's going to be exciting to see them. DeCesare, I like the way he goes as well. Plays on the wing half back row and is always good for a goal at some point in the game. There were a couple of late changes, so you will see there Jesse McKinnon and you will see there Fraser Bone. Both of them not in today. Coming into the team, Fergus Lamp Brooks, a young man, was playing under-18s footy at the Roosters last year. Thought he did really well there. And, of course, the other player that comes into that team who isn't there is Hamish Allen. So that's why I said there were 3 Edwards brothers and there were 3 Allen brothers, and a few of you are probably looking at the screen and going, well, there's only 2 there. There will be 3 out in the field.
Yeah, again, St. Peter's for mine have a really balanced team. They do have some star players. I love Ed Allen as a player. He's just playing half-back and doing what he likes. We saw 2 weeks ago at Glenunga Ty Bedford separate the game, didn't he? Low disposals, high impact, kicked 4 goals in the mud. I thought he was really good. But, yeah, they're pretty well covered. I like Nick Michaels as a small forward. He's really hard to match up on. They've given them the luxury of playing Johnny Reid behind the football as well, who was their key forward 1 or 2 seasons ago. So, yeah, they're much improved. They're really good across the ground. They move the football well. They played well in the wet. For mine, they're a smoky. They should be eyeing the grand final this year.
And, of course, I'm just having a look as well. Henry Stewart-Rattray, I guess without Fraser Bone being there as his chopper out, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to make sure that he, he's going to have to take a really big mantle here against Patrick Baldwin, who I suspect he'll believe that he can probably get on top of. I think if you were a betting man, obviously we don't condone that.
Stewart-Rattray is a bigger boy than what everyone thinks. He will be dominant at the centre bounce if they don't take the early body. We called it a couple of weeks ago. First centre bounce, Stewart-Rattray, run jump. Second centre bounce, West took his run, bodied him. So Stewart-Rattray needs to just use his athleticism. Don't get involved in a wrestle. But look for him to dominate the centre square taps today.
Yeah, and then, it gives the advantage down to those players to start to, you're having a look at the Bedford boys that'll definitely run through there. Obviously, I expect at least one of the other Allen brothers to have a bit of a go in there. Nelligan plays defence but can also run through there as well. Their midfielders will be A-OK, you'd imagine, today. Rostrevor, 8-8-56. This was round 6, Division 1. 10-7-67. Got the job done there, St. Peter's. Only just, but got the job done good enough in the end. Round 10, 2022, 9-14-68, plays 11-11-77. That was a big win there as well for St. Peter's. And then obviously the other side as well, round 1, 2022. To start the new season, they started with 24 goals, 14, 11, 7, 73. So they got the job done there pretty comfortably on all 3 occasions. Are you expecting anything different today?
Strange result, that round 1, 2022. Long time ago now, of course. A
Not
couple of tight battles since then. A really tight battle early in the season that could have gone either way. So I expect something similar today. I expect a 10-goal to 8-ball game. We'll see who can get on top as we throw down to the coin toss.
Really inspirational leaders for their teams. As you mentioned earlier, Adam, he's a really great player, and Stefan Landoni was the top goal kicker for the year, so he's really leading from the front in Rostrevor does like into St. Peter's kicking to the left of your screen. Should be a great clash today in the centre of the foot, out of ground, pretty soft underfoot. Should be great conditions for the players, not too hard. Overhead, nice and sunny, bit of cloud cover, no rain around. Should be a great contest. The likes of Wharton and Transfer for Rostrevor and Henry Nelligan in the middle of the ground for St. Peter. Should be a great battle in the middle of the ground. Can't wait for this one.
Thank you there, Jack Banwell on the boundary. I mean, a couple of technical difficulties there just with the microphone coming through. We'll get them sorted as we have a little bit of a look at this St. Peter's team. Have a look at them there. They look ready and raring to go. It's almost hard to believe, and you speak to people like Mike O'Leary. Obviously, Mike's very generous this time, always willing to stop and have a chat to me. I'm sure if we asked him to do it on camera, he would. But yeah, he's always very generous and had a bit of a chat. And is one of the boys, Ryan Lim, obviously playing his 100th game today. So a massive congratulations to him, getting an embrace from his teammates. And standing next to him there, one of the men he just embraced at 27, also in his 100th game. There is Hayden Swambury, having a look as they get ready and raring to go. But the point I was making on St. Peter's there was that even they didn't really expect this to happen as quickly as it did. They thought, they might be more comfortable to survive than, I guess, last year. And, from there they'd be able to build. But now they're in a situation where they find themselves looking and thinking and going, oh, hang on a minute, we're going to actually, make a really serious charge here at a flag. And they very well could do it there, Adam.
Yeah, I agree. You never know pre-season what's going to happen. They recruited well. But you've got to manage expectations as well, right? You can't come out and be paying them and say how good we're going to be and then come out and lose games, right? You've got to manage expectations. You've got to respect your opposition. You've got to put your best foot forward and then see what the competition brings. So I like what St. Peter's have done. They went under the radar during the summer and just came out and played good football. Simple stuff. Respect what they've done. Yeah, and of course, if this doesn't wet your whistle, you can always go across and watch any of the other 4 games in the Adelaide Footy League. Some great games there with massive palpitations for finals. There's going to be a few fans heart in mouth all day. I'm going to be one of them. Not that I'm a fan of any club. I'm just a fan of the league. So I'm going to be curious and nervous for each and every single one of our 10 clubs out there, including Broadview, who I imagine will be pretty desperate to go into next season 1-17 instead of 0-18. But we're about to get ready to go. A massive bout of luck to both teams, and a massive luck to Ryan Lim and Hayden Swambury in their 100th as well. So here we go, back in the middle, Saturday afternoon footy. BTR Excavations, Division 1 Adelaide Footy League, St. Peter's and Rostrevor. A win for either team is massive. A loss, well, you could find yourself, especially in the case of Rostrevor, outside. Yeah, that is right, outside of the top 5 come close of business and close of the round tonight. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready. I hope you've got the drinks on standby. I hope you've got the food flowing at home. Because we're away on a Saturday afternoon. Baldwin managed to get the tap out, then gave it across towards Wharton. Wharton gives it towards Transfer. Transfer tackled, bulldozed over. Well done, Bedford. He was just waiting and ready. And he's going to end up with the footy now as Bedford gives it across. Not quite sure he was back behind his mark, but the umpire let it play. And now inside, they're starting to link up. Smother there, that was good. Hamish Allen, the late inclusion, lost out in the end. A high up and under. Lanzoni, he was there, might be able to trap it, and does. Down towards, well, a waiting pack down there, but no one able to quite grab it. Instead, coming through, Silvac, always good for a goal. Starts us with some fine for. Well done, Rostrevor. It was a smother in the middle of the ground, wasn't it? We called it last week, didn't we? Look, there's a lot of smothers in the wet, and they can be killers because they go back the other way. It was Lanzoni. Showed great strength there. He dropped the mark, but he got a big kick away to the top of the square with an opponent hanging on him. And he did really well there. That's a fantastic crumb. What I like, Lockie, he straightened up and he took the extra step. He wasn't worried about the body contact around him. Well done. Great goal to start.
Massive thank you as well to Dartfish for bringing us the match, the match highlights as they come up, and then the match highlights at halftime, and of course at the end of the game as well. They'll keep bringing that to you all afternoon. So if you do want to go back, have a little bit of a look at the highlights, you can of course have a look on Dartfish. So we go and get ready to go again. Ball this time, a little bit more of a dead heat in the centre of the ground. Might be extracted here by transfer and is Wharton. Then gave the hand pass through. Ball is bouncing for Butcher. Bedford took it instead. That was Scott Variety. So the ball bounces towards the line. Should be picked up by Lim. Lim found it long and high off a step, I guess, and then going towards the line. It should be picked up. And that one is going to be a ball up. So Wakeland really like the way he goes about it. I said it pre-game. Looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of the ruck work here, just giving Baldwin a bit of a chop out as the ball goes inside forward 50. Ball working its way out. Wharton. He sent that one into orbit, and that is going to come back. Not one of his better efforts there, James Wharton, but I mean, that's hard to do, obviously, trying to snap that one back behind your body. Clive Bedford takes a good mark, turns and has a look, long way from where he likes to operate. Finds Nelligan. Nelligan then, might have been stripped of the footy after he took it, was trying to claim that. Umpire wasn't having a bar of it. And Nelligan, the former Redleg, or I guess current Redleg, playing at St. Peter's at the minute though, decides to flick across and finds Weeks. Then Weeks out towards the running Bedford, out towards the running Malachi Carruthers. And that is going to come back the other way there. It's going to be a free kick last touch. Tulio Di Matteus then takes the footy, gives it across towards Best. Best works it back even further still. Michaelani and finds Mead. And Mead looks to go inside. And they might be out here straight through the centre. Stepic had to move quickly and did. Out towards half forward. A couple of players fly. There's a pack there. Umpire said it's going to be a free kick, pointing the direction that is good for St. Peter's. So ends up going the way of Ironello. And Ironello decides to go up the line and find De Cesare. De Cesare really like what he's able to do.
They like to be patient here, don't they, St. Peter's? They're not playing with a big forward line. They're playing with quite a medium, small-size forward line. So they don't want to just bang it up the line to a big pack. Inevitably, that will occur, though. Don't want to turn the ball over across half-back early in the game. So let's see what unfolds.
Of course, ball now on the outer side. Not really a lot to go to, Carruthers, so just decides to go up the line. And that one is over and out.
That's okay as well. He wants to switch the football. It's not on. You don't want to, like I said, cross the ball across, switch, turnover. So he's gone safe up the line. But you see how St. Peter's play that throughout the day.
Well, switches are also so dangerous as well, because if you don't get them right and you turn it over in the centre of the ground, you give your opposition a massive opportunity, as I'm sure everyone at home is well aware of. So the ball gets out. Works out okay. Stepic just decides to just punt it up the ground. It's a bit of a wobbly kick, and that one is going to go nearly over the line. It does end up there now. Just having a look as well. One eye on the car park lot just over on that outer side where my car is parked. Please, if the players are listening, don't hit it. It's new. Like to keep it safe as the footy comes back in, or near enough to. We get ready to go again. All ends up going down. And picked up nearly by Carruthers. In the end, it is nearly brought forward. Lots of smothers in the ground. Good wrap-up tackle there by Bedford. Made sure that his direct opponent there was going nowhere. Footy gets thrown back. Now, ball goes up. Should work its way out. Nearly does, not quite there. Good tackle. And stopped. Umpire says that one's going to be mine.
Yeah, a bit of a stalemate arm wrestle here at the moment. A lot of repeat ball ups, as you'd expect early in the game. A lot of numbers around the ball. Who's going to win the arm wrestle? Get the clearance.
No one knows now. De Cesare able to get it away. Well done, Bedford. And they start to link up still. Bedford still fights on, but the kick inside forward 50 came from one of his teammates. Favoured Michaelani, who needed a couple of bites of the cherry, but did well enough to back and take that one.
Just needed the ball hit the grass there, didn't they? He was looking for the perfect pass. Just get it onto the grass, put the opposition under the pressure, but they've got the turnover. They should be able to come back in.
So the younger brother of Adelaide's Max Michaelani, not able to quite make the kick there. And in the end, it is going to come back to Bedford. Bedford grabs the ball, or near enough to. He's able to have a little bit of a look to go inside forward 50 here. Kick. Goes inside, big fist away, well done Mead. And that one is cleared over the line.
So this is the one little Achilles heel for St. Peter's today. You could see that McGill was the target inside 50 there, and that's not really what they want him doing. They want him leading up to come back to the crumb. one of their tall forwards or rucks needs to get down there, provide a contest, get the ball in deeper, let their smalls go to work. Be interesting to see how that unfolds today. Will they be tempted to throw Johnny Reid forward at some point to get a target inside 50?
One would assume potentially it's an interesting play from Mike O'Leary as the ball nearly works its way out. Well done, Bedford. Good tackle. Umpire gives us the ball up for gives us a signal for a ball up. There's plenty waiting on the bench, just having a look, waiting to come back in. There's Transfer. Gets it up. High and away, but not really. Yeah, Transfer ended up getting another couple of disposals. That's a fantasy play if ever I've seen it. As Lim, in his 100th game, burst through. Smother came. Transfer trying to get another touch as the people that have got him in their fantasy sides are absolutely loving that passage of play. Now, Kemp, kick inside, works out. Butcher thought about it, stops, and decides to have a little bit of a look.
Yeah, well worked in the end. Didn't blaze away. I thought he was going to kick to the one-on-one at the top of the square, but just lowered his vision and went sideways, and they got the mark just inside 50. Not a bad shot for goal here from 45. Butcher, well worked by Rostrevor. Just the difference in the game so far. Just a couple of cleaner plays inside 50. St. Peter's haven't had one as of yet.
So Butcher on his approach. Stands, kick, not really going to work out okay. In the end, it ends up going towards a 1 and 4. And the man that we mentioned before, Johnny Reid, is going to take the kick in. So Reid, interesting to see what he's able to do. As we wait for play to resume, we do get it away now. Long kick towards the outer side. Couple of plays. Fly! Ratway, I tell you what, Stuart Ratway nearly held on to that one. Wasn't quite able to. And then we're going to go down towards Jack Banwell on the boundary.
Yeah, just a couple of key matchups to look out for. Looks like Charlie Allen has got the assignment on Stefan Lanzoni. Obviously kicked the most goals for Rostrevor with 28 this season. And Stuart Rattray versus Pat Baldwin in the ruck for Rostrevor. It's his second game for Rocks. His debut was impressive last week from all reports, so he's got his handful against Stuart Rattray.
Thank you there, Jack. And as well, if you like what Jack brings to the broadcast, A, don't let him go, and B, make sure you tune into Between the Posts every week because he is on there with myself at the minute while Tommy Javor takes his leave of absence. As the ball works its way forward, backwards, and now inside forward 50 for Rostrevor. It's over the head of Boxer. Oh, and Bob Perrio. Make sure Boxer felt him. He would have felt like a boxer in the ring then with that hit.
Is it a last touch or a throw-in?
It looks like they're going to call throw-in, which I think is probably fair enough. Footy comes back in here at Campbelltown Memorial Oval, just off Paynham Road. Excellent, excellent place to watch some footy. As Wakeland gets the tap down. Still the footy doesn't really come out though. Players behind it, Belperio is one of them. He's then tacked immediately by Murata. And now the long, high footy, couple fly. Big fist came in then from Swanbury, but on the outside they might be okay. McGill hits up his teammate. Very quickly, they're going to look to switch and go inside. It's a good ball, finds Bedford. Bedford just, again, electing to hold up the play just a little bit. Finds his cousin, and what can Scott do? Just, again, takes his time, having a little bit of a look, and then goes and hits up another one of his teammates. That's with Nelligan now. Nelligan on the outer side, planted nearly against that boundary line. Not really sure where to go.
So it's interesting to see what happens here. This is that slow play. Again, they've gone short and wide.
I don't mind it though. I guess they're just trying to avoid, obviously with the lack of height that you mentioned before, they might be trying to avoid the, I guess, kind of just bombing it inside forward 50 and feeding it back to the Rostrevor receivers slash defenders down there.
Eventually they're going to need a target down there. Rostrevor don't have all that scary intercept defenders. They just need to get down there, get a contest, let their smalls go to work. Let's see how it unfolds. Early days.
Still early days in this one as Bo Baldwin takes that one over the line. Throws it back.
So it looks like Stuart Rattray is now resting at full forward. So even his big body, he's got to draw the ball in to that area and they get some crummers around him.
Still we wait. Only the one goal in the game so far. That coincidentally our only score as well. 1 straight 6. Plays Spocko yet to score. Footy gets flicked back. 10 minutes gone in this first quarter. So both teams just feeling each other out. Which is probably fair enough. Oh, well done, Bedford. Mind working a million miles an hour. Not quite sure how I managed to get that. So footy gets flicked back. Then it goes inside forward 50. And at the back, great defensive mark. Well done. Absolutely brilliant from Michaelani, who then turns and gets it. Well, he's aiming for Baldwin, but it might still get to him on the outer side here. Good enough to make a contest. And over the line it goes. Definitely favoured the Rostrevor intercept play there that I believe was Hamish Allen. course, we've got 3 Allens out there, as we mentioned at the start. Charlie, Hamish and Edward. Edward, of course, the captain. The others crucially important to this team, including Hamish, who was available to come in as a late in. And that is going to be a tackle here. Match day live. Across the screens of filming footy. I think we've got game of the round, to be honest with you. When I had a look across the fixture, pretty happy to get the college matchup. Of course, as the footy gets flicked aside or through the hands, that might be a problem. As again, arriving on it quickly, twisting, turning, Carruthers, Nelligan. Nelligan needs to give a hand pass off,
Over
and
the
that one's
shoulder.
holding the ball. Yeah, oh, over the shoulder, sorry.
Yeah, it was one of those little soft ones, but he did reach over the shoulder to get the ball. Just happened to be in the area of the ground where he can have a shot for goal. So Nelligan coming off 27 disposals, I think it was, in the wet last week. It was atrocious conditions at Caterer, from what I heard during the week. 5 goals to 1, the final score in the game. So did well, but he's got a shot on goal here, 40 metres out, directly in front.
It was almost, I had it described to me, it was almost a monsoon as the footy goes over the head. Totally different conditions this week. And they get one there. Nelligan, the player that responds. Margin now back all square. We're 12 minutes into this contest, so it took us 11 minutes to find another goal. But when it did come, we've now got a margin of 0. Having a look at this on the Dartfish. Enjoy this one. I'll be quiet for a moment, so St. Peter's fans can enjoy this.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a bit of that today, though, St. Peter's, aren't they? They don't look like they're going to take a lot of contested marks inside 50. We saw Michaels have to sit under the previous high ball, but on that occasion, Rostrevor, just one overused handball coming out of the stoppage. Ball hit the ground. Michaels flicked the ball out. Carruthers, quick snap around the corner. Nelligan, right place, right time. Got the little soft high free kick, which was there. Most importantly, he converted back to the middle.
Of course, that was on the Kieran Hayoketsu scoreboard. Hello, yes. Thanks to Kieran Hayoketsu. Hello, yes. And I tell you what, despite the fact we've joked about it for 15 weeks, I don't think either of us have ended up with the Kieran Hayoketsu yet. As Belperio flicks it wide, then he finds Carruthers. They are very tasty from all accounts, though, and I'll certainly be looking forward to having a couple. Bedford pleading with Ironello in the centre of the ground, ignored instead, and now inside they go. Little wobbly kick. Decides to just work it. It nearly works out okay. It might still work out okay. Snap on goal towards the front and square. Well done. And waiting down there, Fergus Lamp Brooks, who will be thinking, where am I? Because I tell you what, when he was a Rooster, he did not kick a lot of goals in the under-18s competition.
Yeah, he's just a young player coming into the team today to play in a key position, really. So something that's pretty tricky. Just played in front there. Ball dropped short. Took a nice contested mark at the top of the square. Hopefully he can convert. Dare say this might be his first goal at A-grade level, Lockie. It
certainly would be. So Fergus Lamp Brooks comes in to give his team the lead and a bit of a lift in what will feel like a 4-point game. He steps in. And he's got it. And they'll get around him. Well done, Fergus Lamp Brooks. Finds himself on the board shortly after Nelligan does. And that's an impressive goal.
It's an interesting one there. They weren't sure whether he'd kicked it or not. There wasn't a big reaction. But it must have gone through. The Rostrevor players didn't really remonstrate too much. Maybe it was close to the post and we need the snicko. But nonetheless, it goes down as a goal. No replays here in the Division 1 football for the goal umpires. We get on with it. St. Peter's just got on top in the last 5 minutes, haven't they? They had the last 5 inside 50s, actually. Winning the ball, soft free kick at the last centre bounce.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be no reason to, I guess, kind of have... It's a bit of overkill to have replays here in Division 1. As Belperio gets it forward, flicked across. Allen, outer side, still with Allen now, just off a step, bombs it. Good mark taken there by McCarthy. McCarthy will look, turns inside. Mark taken at the back. Well done, DeMatteis. He's a super impressive player for mine. As he then decides to look, flicks it across. That's a pretty good mark as well on the outer side, just to open up the options and have a little bit of a look. Nistransky was the player then. Oh, through they go. Stepic, bounding down that wing. Puts it inside. Might have favoured slightly the opposition player there, which was Charlie Allen. And in the end, St. Peter's able to win it out with Allen. Allen then finds McGill. And McGill got the headband on. Rocking a little bit of Andy Brayshaw, Angus Brayshaw look. As he decides to go up the line. Big fly coming. And well done, Wakeland kills it. And watching Finn Wakeland play the last couple of weeks, I'm surprised he didn't fly for that then, just try and take it on.
No, he did the right thing, spoiled it over. We see Big McCarthy there, standing up the line, ready to make the contest. It's a good play by the big fella because St. Peter's can use those short passes, but inevitably you need to kick the ball up the line. Got the contest, got the repeat stoppage.
Footy might work its way out, it does. Good tackle there, Lim fighting hard. and over the line it goes. Carruthers throws the footy back. Really like the game of Malachi Carruthers, or the season of Malachi Carruthers so far as well. Made his way into Tommy Javor's half team of the year. Of course, the full team of the year, that will be picked by Tommy Javor, and I imagine he'll have insights from just about everybody as the footy goes forward. Of course, it is, well, it's his namesake, it is, of course, the media's team, as it flicks across there from Higgins. Higgins then finds Ianello. Ianello then goes wider still to Cesare. De Cesare tries to just work his way through. Kick inside forward 50, over the head of everybody, works for Butcher. Butcher then wrapped up by Nelligan, like a shark that's just smelled blood. Little soccer forward, and a behind. So, Spockos, game high lead of 7 for them. Game high lead for anybody is 7. So, super work there as the footy's about to get brought back into play. It looks to be Swanbury there, who kicks, gets it down the line. That's a good mark now, a little turn inside. Mark taken by Lim. Lim then gives it across. Transfer. Just a little bit of a footy that didn't really favour anybody. Weeks was first back onto it, but he's got a lot of pressure to deal with in the form of 2 Rostrevor players. Gets rid of both of them and wins himself a free kick. Not a bad little passage of play there for Edward Weeks, as Weeks then sends it up. Finds Bedford. Bedford then in no real rush, just deciding to take his moment.
They do play with a lot of composure coming out of the back half, don't they, Lockie? They don't rush. They'll take their time. They'll use their 15 seconds before the umpire tells them to play on, just to see what will unfold.
That being said, Bedford decided to go towards a contest. Turnover footy now. Send back inside. Bouncing ball. Arriving quickly onto it there. Transfer. Flicked it out. Allen. Hand pass. And still the chain continues here for St. Peter's. Working inside, really a fishnet. Not a whole lot of room for them to work inside. And then Nelligan just gets it forward. Off a step. Big fly. Michaelani back onto it. He was twisting and turning and managed to get it out towards Best, who was his runner on the outside. Best kick. Good work. Ball fell down into a pit of St. Peter's players. Allen, Belperio, Carruthers. Carruthers still continues to run. Carruthers might draw a player and does in Ianello. Ianello's got an option further in Bedford. Bedford used. Does he look inside? He doesn't in the end. Decides to just take it and go inside forward 50. Punched away from Michaels. Michaels was the danger man. Swanbury able to get wrapped up, and the umpire says we're going to have a ball up.
Bit of rebound football from both teams there for the last couple of minutes.
It wasn't too bad at all. That was super impressive.
Good transition from St. Peter's. Just can't find that final kick inside 50 as yet. If they do, Rostrevor might be in trouble.
Nelligan brought into the bench as well, so he's off for rotations. As footy gets sent back inside. Good mark there. And Fergus Lance-Brooks is just arriving again. This might be the game where he's able to take it away.
Yeah, well done by the big fella. It was, that was an even better mark because he had to really hit hard up at the football, take it in his fingers, not on his chest. It's a good mark. His last shot for goal was a little bit circumspect, but snuck it in. Let's see what the big fella can do from around about 40 metres out.
So, what does Fergus Lance-Brooks do? He's already got one today. He'd love to become the first to kick multiple goals. Set sail at the big sticks and kicks another. And this time there's a bit of reaction. Well done, Lamp-Brooks. That is another for him. 19-minute mark of this first quarter. Time continues to tick. Have a look at this on the Dartfish here. Margin now, 13.
Yeah, well done to the big fella. Nice shot for goal. He's been the difference so far in the game, isn't it? Rostrevor, whilst they're in the contest, Lockie, they haven't scored since the first minute of the game. We're nearly at the 20-minute mark now, so they've gone nearly 20 minutes without scoring. So let's see how we go. Down to the boundary. Jack?
Lamp-Brooks there, he was in amongst 9 Rostrevor players and it was fortuitous that it fell in his lap. But it's interesting to see that they're isolating Michaels and Lamp-Brooks. They're sort of rotating, isolating them at full forward. So that's one to watch for the rest of their game and their forward structures for St. Peter's.
Absolutely. As I've just watched the man next to me, Adam Jeffrey, start to do a count. So he's all over it as well as Lim goes inside. Thank you, Jack, for that. A very insightful look as Bedford tries to get it out. And then Belperio decides to go across. Stuart Rattray still after it. And that is going to work its way forwards. Picked up there by, looks to be Harkins. Harkins then gives it across. Bedford might get it. Well, wouldn't have been the same Bedford that might have gotten that footy back. So the ball's turned and snapped back inside. Stuart Rattray. That's going to be a
paid the push,
free kick.
I think.
Yeah, push there. Going the way of the Rostrevor player. So a kick then from Kemp, inside forward 50. Might find his leading target and does. McCormack, and that was like he controlled the ball, pulled it in. And it was a really good kick as well from Kemp. Credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
that's not just McCormack's good work.
Yeah, they had to go wide, but it was a really good mark by the big fella. You know, when you're steaming out and you're as tall as he is, it's not that easy, and a lot of players can't. So that was a good pair of hands. His team desperately needs a settler here. Like I said, it's been 20 minutes since they've hit the scoreboard, Rostrevor. They've been competitive, but they just need to kick the next goal, stay in this contest.
They'll feel it as well. Massive opportunity here. McCormack lines it up. Plenty of conversation going on below us. Don't know whether or not Banwell's getting involved in those conversations. As still, we wait for McCormack. Kicks on its way and gets it too. They needed that. They desperately needed that.
Yeah, well done by McCormack. We saw him kick a great set shot from the pocket last week as well, didn't we, Lockie? So he's not going to be a high possession player, is he? But if he can take a couple of marks inside 50 and kick accurately, he's an important member for his team. He's about 45 out, pretty wide out there. That's a really good set shot by the big fella. And like you said, desperately needed by Rostrevor. Now they need to go back to the centre, work this out, get the ball back inside 50s. We'll see the classic kick a goal come off rotation, modern footy. Love it.
I've never quite understood that. Surely if you kick a goal, you want to stay on.
Yeah, you do, but if it's planned, it's planned. It can throw everything else out. That's why it continues to happen.
Footy back in the centre again. Campbelltown Memorial Oval. A clash of the Titans, it must be said. Speaking of Titans, Wharton and Bedford were going at it there. Transfer ended up winning out. He was the I guess unwanted third from a St. Peter's point of view. So the ball goes inside forward 50. Big fly. Oh, nearly from Wakeland, but still, they might work it out here. Handballs able to get their running game going. They love that there. Kick then off a step, and Mead was told to go back. No way. And it's a free kick going the other way. So McGill ends up with the ball. Not quite sure what the umpire saw there. I thought he told me to go back because he couldn't play on, but that's...
Paid a push, potentially, but yeah, a little bit unlucky there.
So there we go. Question marks, no doubt, over that contentious decision, but he wasn't in a danger zone because in the end they ended up getting it turned over. So the footy goes back where it came from Higgins, then towards the outer side. And the ball, well done, Best. Able to mark that and then just play on. Wheels around, gets it in towards the 50 or near enough to. Footy sits. Still they fired on Higgins. Able to work it forward. And then good little ball towards the outer side. Works out okay in the end. That looks to be Malachi Carruthers. Long kick. Goes at a good mark as well. Stuart Rattray. He has been so good for so long for this St. Peter's team. It's really nice he's going to get the opportunity to play finals in a couple of months' time, I feel. As the footy goes, works it towards the outer side, and that is back there in the hands of Carruthers as Carruthers drops it for Best. And that is not what they had in mind at all with that kick.
I was going to say, it's a great mark by Stuart Rattray at half forward. Well done to the big fella. He almost needed to hold that football, Carruthers, and wait for Stuart Rattray to get back to the top of the square. It's very difficult to pierce those passes inside 50 in Division 1 football. It's too many numbers back.
Yeah, would have given him something to kick out, I feel. As I'm sure that was the point you were making there, Adam. So it would have been good for them. But either way, they might end up having another opportunity at this. As the blue and red and white jumpers stream inside forward 50. Kick now, off a step. Oh, Best! Tell you what, he might be best at this intercepting marking game. And that is going to be, it might be turned over. Umpire might have it back. Oh, I tell you what. That nearly went the other way, I feel. Maybe potentially umpire thought second of it. In the end, Michaelani. Somewhere between maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes left in this quarter as Bedford flies. Oh, well done. Ty Bedford should have taken the mark. Didn't quite have enough of the footy as Wharton was able to pick up the loose droppings. And then the footy towards Lim. Then across towards Butcher. Butcher off a step. Sending it into a little bit of orbit, but no one quite able to get there. Wakeland was coming across the top of the pack, and in the end, it's going to be a free kick there. Taken without the footy. Looks like it's going to go the way of Ben Pelperio, who I think's had a pretty good season.
Love Wakeland as a player, but that was an unnecessary free kick. They had the St. Peter's under all sorts of pressure down there, and he just gave away an easy free kick to relieve the pressure. Just come back in the last 5 minutes, Rostrevor, haven't they? Just starting to put them under a little bit of pressure.
Just to play devil's advocate, though, for Wakeland, he may not have known that Valperia didn't have the football. As there's a pack that forms, at the back of it was Stepic. He decided not to fly, ends up winning the footy. Interception was pretty good, Del Cesare, and then helped out pretty good in the end there from Ionella, who ran out of room over the line.
I think Rostrevor would be pretty happy to get the quarter time and not concede another goal here. It's probably only a minute or two to go. If they can sneak one their way, they'll be pretty happy to go in level after being outplayed for a fair part of this quarter.
Wharton trying to make that a reality as the ball bounces. Would have taken a couple of Worms' heads off if they'd popped their head up to see what was going on. As that one still might work its way out, but a good tackle in the end late. And the umpire says that one is going to be my footy. So still time continues to tick away. I think I've just heard the timer go off, and there it is. Quarter time here. We stop at the 26-minute and 40 mark of the first quarter. And we have a scoreboard that reads 2 straight 12 Rostrevor to 3-1-19 St. Peter's. St. Peter's by 7 on the other side of this, the second quarter.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New Hyoketsu. Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back. Here it is quarter time at Campbelltown Oval between Rostrevor and St. Peter's. St. Peter's holding a 7-point advantage. Great quarter for both sides. Rocks really brought the intensity early, and then St. Peter's got on top, kicking a few goals in a row. Lamp Brooks kicking a couple. Out of the huddle, St. Peter's very positive with their back six. They're undersized, actually, and they brought the ball to the ground a lot, so that was really good to see, and they were moving the ball really well from the back line. And for Rostrevor, their intensity was red hot early. Wharton getting plenty of the footy, and Michael Laney was also very impressive down back. So there's plenty of positives for both sides. Can't wait for this second quarter, and Lockie and Adam will bring that to you right now.
Thank you there, Jack. Brilliant as always. Very insightful, I thought, there from the Wizard. And that's why, and we call him the Wizard because he is indeed magical, and it's got nothing to do with a funny nickname. I might tell that story later. As we get ready to get ready for the second quarter. St. Peter's, as Jack mentioned there, really having a great moment. As we see there, I wonder what will be going through the mind of Damien Boots there as he addresses his troops. Potentially, they could be doing something a little bit better. What was their missing piece, do you think, Adam? Why aren't they the ones that are in front?
I said just before quarter time, it felt like St. Peter's were on top, but actually Rostrevor had 2 more inside 50s, right? So he needs a winner inside 50. That's what he needs. Haven't really been able to lock the ball in at all, get some repeat stoppages. Only the 2 marks. We saw McCormack take one nice on the lead. That was really it after that first play of the game. So he needs a winner up forward. So, yeah, whilst it feels like St. Peter's are on top, Rostrevor have had more inside 50s. If they can find a winner inside 50. But again, St. Peter's, they've had a lot of slow build-ups going inside 50. I still think they need to look to go long and get crummers. You know, Michaels is a great mark one-on-one, but he's not going to mark the ball in the pack. He's a great front and square player as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they change their method a little bit. But they are a couple of troops down there, St. Peter's. They are missing their usual key forward and key back today. So not always easy. It's easy to be critical up here of a certain game style, but when you're missing 2 of your gun key position players, you do have to change things up a little bit. But back in your tools, back in Stuart Ray, we saw the young fella, what was his name, kick the 2 goals.
Fergus Lambrooks.
Yeah, did well. So get it in there to the big fellas, let them go to work, let the smalls do their thing.
Yeah, it was one of the things I wasn't expecting from, because I've seen Fergus, and I'm sure a couple of people here, especially his family that I'm watching the broadcast, have seen him play at North Adelaide. And he was much more of a runner on the outside. Didn't really see him get forward too much. So it's interesting to see he's going to be using his size advantage there. As we have a look, the 2 Bedford cousins marching into the centre there. They're excitement machines, these boys, as Ty proves me a fool and decides to go into the forward line instead. So he marches off.
Like that move, though. I think Ty needs to kick a few goals for them today. We saw him do it at Glenunga. He can just take those half chances, which they haven't been able to do so far.
Getting ready to go. Saturday afternoon footy, match day live. Of course, it's great to bring you the MDL as we get ready to get started on a Saturday afternoon. Stuart Ray taking on Patrick Baldwin. Ladies and gentlemen, lock in, because these 2 teams are, and we are away again for the second quarter. Ball bounces in the deck. St. Peter's by 7. As it trickles backwards, nearly works its way out. Just still in the congestion there. Carruthers had a go. Someone's put wax on the ball. Oh, of course, there, Bedford able to just grab the footy and flick it across. And the umpires found a whistle somewhere. And he's going to go the way of Wharton. So Wharton ends up with the ball, and Wharton just takes off. Says, thanks, boys. I'll bomb it inside forward 50 for you. Wakeland not able to get away with that one there. Belperio might have gotten it up. Tramper was waiting on the outside. That's where the footy ended up. And still they fight. Flicked over the top. They were waiting, the defenders, nearly danger signs. But Allen, last legs defended well. Big punch came from behind. Bedford wrapped up his direct opponent. Good tackle there, but the footy flicks wide still, and they might just be able to get it out with a little bit of an orbiting kick. And Best, tell you what, he might have sticky mitts on at the minute. He's been taking some great intercept marks. That was nearly a turnover. Michaels in the end in fringe might have chopped the arms there of Tulio Di Matteis, and he decides to go across.
Bit lucky there. I thought Michaels might have just got the spoil on, but Best, he's been outstanding so far. I've counted 4 intercept marks so far, which is a big number.
Dare I say it, Best might be Best as we go inside forward 50 again for Rostrevor, but the intercept Weeks trying to add his name into that conversation as well. A couple of intercept marks from him. Adam will probably have more exact numbers as the footy goes across and finds Higgins. Higgins kind of reached him on the half volley, so he had to pick it up and go. Didn't have the luxury of being able to take the mark. Belperio did take the mark. And I tell you what, if you are in Rostrevor and you're listening to us, that barbecue downstairs is absolutely delightful. I cannot implore you enough. Get down there, get a sanger, get a couple of sandwiches, support the footy club as the footy gets wide as well. You know, free entry here at the Adelaide Footy League, but I'm pretty sure they certainly make it up in other ways to the clubs with their barbecues and their drinks and that kind of thing. Jack's got something downstairs.
Nothing too important there, Lockie. Just want to confirm your thoughts on the barbecue. Absolutely sensational.
What do you have, Jack?
Kransky with a lot.
Oh, there you go. So there's Jack Banwell's recommendation. When the Wizard recommends something, you certainly act on it. As back into the centre we go. Allen flicks it back across. And still the footy continues to work its way forward. Picked up. Well done to Cesare. Nearly got it forward, but Michaels was able to act. Turning. Found Nelligan, and Nelligan's just picked out a receiver down there. Good mark taken, and across the ground we go. Shoot. Bouncing footy. On the 50, was able to walk the tie rope, had to send it back in to clear it. Not sure if that counts as an inside 50 for St. Peter's because it came off the boot of a Rostrevor player. Guess it's the great showdown debate as the footy goes wide and that one's going to run out of room. Of course, it's not the only college battle going on today as well. There's a college battle between Sacred Heart and Prince Alfred. And I believe if you had a look at the results, Adam was going through them and having a look as Bedford gets ready to bring the footy back in. Having a look at the results there, I believe it's incredible, but Prince Alfred are winning that game. So footy goes back inside and flicked on, might have just been slightly left behind. Bedford was trying to emerge on the football, and that is going to be a ball up. Broadview, of course, around the grounds as well, yet to score. So that's pretty disappointing from their perspective. They're 45 points down at Salisbury North at last check. This ball goes up. We'll bring you some other results when we get an opportunity. As well done there. Tranfer gets it forward. Allen. Well done. As Allen goes back to Allen. Edward Allen sends it back inside forward 50. Di Mateus. Still they flick through hands. And the footy should find its way out here. It's a dangerous kick. Bedford flew. Lanzoni was good enough. So then Lanzoni turns, goes towards the outer side, and the switch is complete in one foul kick. Kemp, if he's able to grab, does, and then flicks it on. And still, that's Nistransky. He's able to just get a little worm burner along the ground. Bouncing footy, any meterage will do for Rostrevor. Waiting there was Bedford, wasn't quite able to grab it. Trying to just charge his way through. Oh, that was a dangerous tackle, but that has been soundly rewarded by the umpire. Tranfer with the ball. Tranfer takes off. He might just unload. Xavier Tranfer. Pin the ears back and kick to goal. That's a big moment.
Didn't come off the boot as he would have liked. It's almost a sack, but it went almost 50 metres, cleared the line. He's had to do a lot of work in close so far, Tranfer, hasn't he? But he finally found just a little bit of space on the outside and he hoofed that through. Again, Rostrevor, both teams struggling to find a winner inside 50, aren't they? They're having the scrounge goals, the tall and small forwards, key forwards haven't been able to get on top. Good goal by Tranfer. Dare I say, an early nomination for the player of the day.
Yep, I wonder what he's going to buy from Bianco. I was in there recently. I brought myself a toolbox from Bianco. Did enjoy that. So, you know, if you're out and you need some more tools, I'd be going there, especially if you win. You got $100 to spend at Bianco for that magic moment. It is an early nomination, but we haven't seen anything better. You'd have to say that's certainly got the vote so far. Ball back up in the centre. And again, the players emerge on it. They're just after it. Bedford trying everything. It was coming off every body part to just try and work that one forward. Footy instead, able to get towards Wharton. Wharton, then with Di Mateus. Di Mateus just fires it out towards a player that was waiting down. Good tackle! Launched on and rewarded. Boxer. He clamped him. Absolutely clamped him. As footy goes towards Wakelin, who was coming in, wasn't quite able to hang on to it. Footy fired out. In front of the stoppage waiting was Scott Bedford. Bedford then gave it to Bedford. And still with Ty. So try and just muscle their way through. And umpire said play on. Then it might end up getting out. Does. Back with Ty Bedford. And it's ended up with Baldwin. So Baldwin on the outer side. Finds the footy. McCormack was there. Rolls past him. And Allen saw the safety of the boundary line and ran towards it like he was trying to make a first down.
I think they were a bit unlucky there, St. Peter's. I thought they were pulling up, saying, I don't want to take the advantage. The umpire thought he was taking the advantage. Called the play on. No damage done. Ball up. Half forward at Rostrevor.
Footy goes back up. Wharton. His little hand pass across. Forced his teammate to bend down. That invited the pressure. Murata's back in there. Murata wrapped up. Going nowhere, umpire says that'll be my footy. 7 minutes gone, margin at 1 point. Was as high as 13, that's as high as it's been. Silvac obviously got the game started and had the game high margin for Rostrevor at 6. So that has been the story of the game so far. Footy out towards the Rostrevor full forward line. McCormack, did he get there? Wow, it might not have mattered. Might have squatted a long foot at that. The umpire says that one is going to be my footy. And sprinting towards it is the boundary umpire. Had to chop off 30, didn't go all the way around.
I think it's Weeks there at fullback. He really wears his opponent like a glove. Just teetering on the edge of a free kick for mine. Maybe with the arms around, but don't mind if the umpire's not sure. You don't want to give away a free kick at the top of the square.
Absolutely. Footy bouncing. Not quite able to win it out there. Allen. And the footy might have worked out okay. Bedford was in a little bit of space. Oh, well done. Went to ground. Thought his opponent was going to wrap him up. Managed to get rid of the tackler, and that is going to be a free kick there. And it looks like it's going to go the way of Bedford. So Bedford might have been tunnelled, it looks like the umpire called there. So I get a little nod from Adam Jeffries in the box.
It's been good though, Bedford, hasn't he? Maybe the long sleeves were noticing him a lot, getting a lot of the ball.
And there's a little bit of a cousin connection. Ends up with Ty Bedford, but it was called play on. And that is going to be a ball up there. Umpire flicks it back. Umpire gets it flicked back to him. And 8 minutes gone. 18 plays 19. Umpire's seen a free kick. Whistle's gone. Where's it going? Going the way of Baldwin. And Baldwin, now he won't waste any time. Just drops the footy inside forward 50. Gets stripped away. Silvac, the danger man, only had 2 disposals. And, well, his second one much less effective than his first.
But again, the ball kicked to a dangerous spot, a contest, and your Crummers can go to work. So looking a little bit more efficient inside 50 this quarter. Rostrevor, the mark and the goal will come soon.
Absolutely it will. Johnny Reid there to pick that one back up. So I'm sure everyone down this side of the ground's getting a nice smell of that barbecue. It's making the players hungry, hopefully, because it's making me hungry. As we get ready to get started again. So the long kick. It's an interesting decision. Just bang it out as far as it'll go. Distance was the idea, not so much accuracy. So the ball falls down. And then Baldwin just found himself standing alone and ended up with a football. Not a bad little moment for him. As Baldwin looks and has a look at the goals.
Yeah, just getting on top, aren't they? Rostrevor, the 6 inside 50s to 3 so far this quarter. But again, we saw in the first quarter, they weren't all that efficient on their high level of entries. Need a straight shot here to get their confidence going.
Baldwin steps in. What's he able to do? Unloads. Footy towards the top of the 50 instead. It might work out okay there. Silvac tried to work it forward. Wasn't quite able to. Picked up and over the boundary line it goes.
We're leaving free kick paid, I think it is. Yep. Allen in the back pocket.
It is there. Allen with the footy. Allen then flicks it across towards Weeks. Weeks then goes... Well, where does he go? Back to Allen. No, a little bit further than that. Carruthers or Ironello. Both of them got the green boots on. It's Ironello on this occasion. Ironello then decides a long booming footy is where they'll go. A little bit of speed on the footy, and that is a brilliant intercept as well. 1 goal only for the quarter, 10 minutes in. Will we end the same way we did with a flurry? Allen, both of the teams are starting to play kick to kick at the minute. No one with any real interest as the football goes up towards Bedford. Bedford then finds Bedford. Scott to time on that occasion. And oh no! Got past one, wrapped up by the second, and that is going to be a free kick going the way of Rostrevor. And Fergus Carruthers, like a deer in headlight, just stopped. Now it is with Wharton. Wharton across to Stepic. Stepic, well, again, just this slow, methodical play. Shoot. Haven't minded his season at all so far. Joshua Shoot. Thought he's had his moments. He's kind of in the trilogy to the Wharton and the Tramper show. As it goes back across. And then with Michaelani. Michaelani. Mead. Still at half back though, so they haven't really, despite the number of names I've just listed, haven't actually brought the footy that far forward. Kemp, and now they're on a little bit of run. Stepic, just off a step, unloads. Inside forward 50, might work out. Lenzoni, emerged with the football. Not bad. Not bad at all.
It's a great crumb by Lanzoni. I like what Rostrevor are doing. They're hitting a hot spot about 25 out from goal. As long as the ball comes to ground, something can happen. Lanzoni's going to get involved. They needed him to. Like I said, they need a winner inside 50. He's a guy that's capable of kicking 2s, 3s, and we've seen him kick 7 on it in a game this year as well. So well done, Lanzoni. It was a classy snap. Great area to get the ball into Rostrevor. Great build-up for them as well. They're on top at the moment. St. Peter's need to respond.
Looks like that might be a little bit of ladies' day out at the club. Got a bit of dress-up going on. The Lorax, I think that's Velma. Fred's there from Scooby-Doo. Plenty going on. There's a witch in the background, I think. So plenty of action going on there. Equal game high there for Rostrevor as well. As back in the centre we go. As Tranford might get the footy at Murata. He was wrapped up. Unfortunately, he couldn't get out of the drama then. So Now the ball slapped down. Transfer gets it forward. Bouncing ball. Oh, no. Carruthers. Boxer wrapped him up, holding the ball. But he's going to go the way of Allen. And Allen, well, in no real rush. Just goes across the ground. Belperio, and they've played this all day, basically. As we wait, and it's a little bit of a floated kick, a bit of a punt inside. It's chasing after the ball now. Oh no, great tackle. Great tackle, was in congestion, wrapped up. Umpire says I'll have that footy back. Hasn't been a highly contested game. Sometimes you get that at the Adelaide, in the BTR Excavations Adelaide Footy League. It's one of the things I like about it. The other thing is as well, with the midfielders, no one really willing to let anyone go. That's a pretty good tackle as well, as Bedford wrapped up his direct opponent, but the umpire says, third time's the charm, boys. So who's going to win this one out? We need a bit of magic. Get the wizard in there. See what he's able to do. And that is going to be a free kick there. Going the way of Nelligan. And Nelligan, well, doesn't really know where to go. So again, caught in a journey of indecision. Decides to just pump the ball inside forward 50. Goes for distance. Couple players around it. And that one is going to be a free kick there. Going the way. Oh, St. Peter's. Free kick going the way of McCarthy. So what is McCarthy going to do here?
Might have paid the mark on the juggle there, actually. Don't mind the option, though. The big fella got himself in the right spot. He didn't lead out to the pocket. He plonked himself 25 out from goal. Go there. Something will happen. So well done to the big fella. His ball drop on the kick earlier today was a little bit circumspect. So let's see what he can do on the set shot now, but a good mark by the big fella.
Can he right his wrongs? It's a good mark in the end as well, if it was indeed paid. Seems to have been. It's McCarthy. Steps in. That's what he's got to do, and he does just lean that one home. So whenever any team gets a little bit of an advantage, the other seems to bite back. We've got a real arm wrestle on our hands here at Campbelltown Memorial Oval in the 15-minute and 8-second mark. The goal ties the game, and we're 25 apiece.
It is a low-scoring arm wrestle, isn't it, Lockie? That's St. Peter's first score for the quarter. We're over halfway through. So it's been a genuine arm wrestle. No team's really getting genuinely on top. Everyone's having little patches of inside 50s. Both teams' defences are doing quite well. No forward has got on top thus far. Midfield battles, a big arm wrestle. Let's see what happens. It's exactly what we expect. Second versus fourth on the ladder, isn't it, Lockie?
Yeah, indeed. We're about to go back into the centre here as we get ready for a massive, massive... It's kind of closing stanza to this half, and then, of course, the second half after that as well. Plenty coming up across the screens, not only here at Campbelltown Memorial Oval, but all over this great state. Adelaide Footy League Division 1 BTR Excavations, of course, proudly sponsoring that. We've got our own list of sponsors on the broadcast as well. Filming footy, obviously, Dartfish, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by RTC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archies, and, of course, Kimberley Resorts as well. So footy gets cleared. Good mark, Lim, courage. That's what's guided him through 100 games.
Yeah, well done, Lim. It's not a fun place to be on a football field, is it? But did not flinch, took a good mark.
Yeah, no, I remember the one time I didn't flinch and I got a knee to the back of the head. It's never any fun being there as the footy goes down. That's going to be tackled, and that is going over the line. Going to come back the other way, Tranford. Tranford with the ball. And hasn't he been just all kinds of impressive, Xavier Tranford this year. End up with the Archies as well, back in round 3. Obviously, the Archies, the Belgravia, and, of course, the pub voucher as well. As Lim turns, gets that one inside forward 50. Big fly. Plenty after it. It's Baldwin, but Baldwin tackled as well. And it's going to be a ball up. Super impressive to see as well, I guess, kind of. Tranford's been one of those players that's had a bit of a rise. Obviously, you know, we know how good he was in Division 2. Did it translate? Yes, it did. As Rostrevor still trying to burrow their way through. It's going to be a ball up.
This is where the players need to get across goal side, and we'll keep those tackles low.
Absolutely, it's kind of a major thing here. St. Peter's, for all their good work, they won't want to fall behind again. And as we have a look down, boundary side, Jack Banwell's got something for us.
Yeah, St. Peter's are really going to have to lower their eyes coming out of defensive 50 here. Ross have about 3 or 4 set up behind the ball, as we come to expect in the Adelaide Footy League, getting that extra number.
Brilliant work down there. Always the wizard. That's why we call him that, because he is magic. And still the footy tries to work its way out. It's going to be a... No, it's going to keep going on. As the umpire says, I'll have that one back. It's a contested game. It's almost just been a little bit of a rugby scrap in the last few moments as they've just worked their way through. Bedford, though, he'll be able to get some speed on the footy if he's able to pick it up. He doesn't quite. He might still grab it. Ball just kind of flicked out. Transfer over the top. Umpire says that one's going to be my ball.
Real arm wrestle again, isn't it? A lot of repeat stoppages. Umpire will look to break it up soon.
Well, we might have to in a minute. Here is that one. Is a good tackle laid, and umpire says I'll have that one up. This is the issue, though. You mentioned it, I think, each and every week. Umpires, when there's been a bit of contestant work for a few moments, they do get trigger happy. So you've got to be careful here. Ball fired forward, just past everybody. That was a good step through from Boxer, and that's going to be a free kick there, a throw. So they do end up getting their wish there, the umpires, as Reed ends up with the ball.
He had the right idea there. He wanted to knock it onto his teammate, just didn't quite execute.
So ball again, now with Transfer, who's able to just fire it back. Inside, and that is going to be a ball up. So the umpire quickly emerging around the scene, and he does decide that one is going to be thrown back up. So Radarate gets it down. That is a ball that might work towards the boundary line. That is going to end up going over and out.
Trying to think where St. Peter's can get the spark from. I think it's Bedford, isn't it? Ty Bedford, he's the guy that can just do some magic inside 50. Seen him playing more around the football. Ball hasn't been deep inside 50 St. Peter's a lot, but keep an eye on him in the stoppages here.
Also thinking as well, Cousin Scott's not a bad shout for that as well. As at the back, that's a good mark. Obviously, those
Best
two
again with the intercept mark. He's been very, very impressive so far in this game.
Best, obviously a very, very good player as well out of the Norwood Academy in the under-18s for them as well. Just looking across the rest of the list as well. DeCesare's good for a spark. Lamb Brooks, and then of course you've got both the Carruthers and as well one other player that always fires is Nick Michaels. So don't think there's not. I think you mentioned it as well, either with Rostrevor or St. Peter's at the very beginning of the broadcast. There's a lot of talent across both these teams as the footy rolls its weight. There is on cue Michaels, and he was taken high. And he made sure the umpire saw it as well. Almost, to use a soccer term, he took the tumble in the penalty box, but it was certainly there.
It's the one he's been waiting for, Michaels. Hasn't really been able to get in the game so far. It's frustrated being a small full forward when the ball's not coming in very much at all. But he just makes something happen normally when he gets around the ball, so well done to him. Free kick was there. Set shot from 30.
So Michaels steps his way in. Lovely looking kick. Unfortunately, though, didn't quite get it right. And Spockos, well, they have the lead again. 26 plays 25. They hadn't led in this contest for nearly 15, what was that be, 6 or 7 minutes there. This footy goes towards the outer side. And that one is going to be over the line. Getting ready to start again here. Everyone took a collective breath. Game really on a knife's edge so far. It's been a few moments of excitement. Mead was trapped on the boundary line, managed to just get a spinning footy to stay in play. Weeks punched towards the boundary line, in the end ended up with Allen. Allen then found Bedford, and Bedford able to just sell some candy. Got one player diving one way, gave the hand pass across to one of his teammates, and then nearly wrapped up their shoot. Able to get it out back towards Scott Bedford. Bedford, and the ball is going to end up going the other way. It's going to go the way of Nelligan, it looks like. No.
I think it was paid downfield from its original spot for hanging on.
So Nelligan does end up with a footy. That might have been Bedford's free, I guess, as well. As still, Baldwin then picks it up, gave it across to Tramford. Tramford gave it across to Silvac, and then Silvac gave it to Tramford again. The handball chain continues with Kemp. Kemp this time uses his foot to find Baldwin, who kept on running. Baldwin inside forward 50. McCormack! No! Desperation, as there's Bedford, and the umpire spotted a free kick hanging on, going the way of St. Peter's. So they're going to end up with a footy here, and it's going to be Weeks who wins the ball. 22 minutes gone in this in this second quarter. Probably got, 6-7 minutes maybe remaining of the half. Hasn't been a lot of goals, though, from my count. There's only been 3 for the quarter, so that obviously means, there won't be that much stoppage time. As the footy gets knocked away, and still they fight, scrapping, hands and knees. Umpire says, my ball.
It won't be a long quarter, Lockie. 23 minutes gone. Probably only go 25 with the amount of goals that we've had. So real arm wrestle, you'd love to go in at half-time. Just a small advantage. Next goal, crucial.
100% there as the footy might work its way forward. And it's going to go on the end to Michaels there. So Nick Michaels decides, gets it out. Here they go. St. Peter's might... Oh, and I'll tell you what, Bedford was pleading with the marker to give him the footy. Didn't quite end up going that way. And in the end, it is going to be the kicker in Lucas De Soto. So he got 1 goal when we were watching them a couple weeks ago. I think he kicked a goal last week as well. And De Soto to certainly make his mark in this contest as well and in this competition.
It's good play by Michaels. It was a great chase down tackle.
It was
Kick
brilliant.
inside 50.
There's De Soto. Now decides, fires at goal. Kick on its way. No. Across the face, didn't trouble anybody there. And as the time continues to tick on. Well, we're now with Butcher, and Butcher decides to go across. Of course, margin of 1 on the Kiran Hayoketsu scoreboard. As the kick, danger signs. DiMatteis might have turned the ball over. Mead was first on it. Bedford was nearly on him. And they're working themselves in a drama now. They just need to get it on the boot, and they do. Stepic, long, high football, and towards the outer side. Transfers there. Still they fight on. Bedford kicked it back. And that is a brilliant mark as well at the back. Turning quickly then with Baldwin. Baldwin then gets it across towards Butcher. Butcher, and there it is. Half-time. Spocko's challenge in that quarter. They led by 7 at quarter time. They lead now by just 1. It's 4-1-25, plays 4-2-26. 1 point the difference on the Kiran Hayoketsu scoreboard. We'll see you on the other side of this for more action on Filming Footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New 氷結 Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Well, g'day everybody. Welcome here back to Campbelltown Memorial Oval, the BTR Excavations Men's Division 1 halftime score update as we see Rostrevor making their way onto the ground. We'll ignore that for the moment. Payneham Norwood Union 3-9-27, Golden Grove 7-6-46. Glenunga 5-3-33, Port District 6-5-41, Salisbury North 11-6-72, plays Broadview Tigers 2-4-16. Prince Alfred 6-6-42, Sacred Heart 6-4-40. They've fought back a little bit, Sacred Heart, since last check. And Rostrevor 4-1-25, obviously St. Peter's as well, 4-2-26. That's the game we're at now. That's how we know the score on that one there. But as we have a look around, what's your thoughts? What kind of sticks out most?
As we're looking at the other grounds, Prince Alfred would be a turn-up if they won that game, and that would send Sacred Heart into a world of pain, wouldn't it? So we'll keep an eye on the scores at the other grounds. Payneham as well, just hanging around against Golden Grove. So we've got to keep an eye. If those upsets happen, it just throws a spanner in the works, doesn't it? But we're waiting for Payneham to play Prince Alfred in a couple of weeks, aren't we, for that relegation game? But if one of them can sneak an upset against one of the top teams, there we go. Back to this game. Look, it wasn't the most exciting first half. It's a tough, tight game, isn't it? Both teams have got plenty to play for. St. Peter's seem to have a few key personnel out today, so they can't really dominate inside 50 like we've seen them on occasions. Both teams' defences have been right on top for mine, Lockie. I think at either end, both teams' forwards haven't really been able to get on top. There's obviously been a lot of scrappy football come in as well, so it's been a real arm wrestle around the ball. And both teams' defences on top. That's why we've got a 4-4 half-time score. But that's okay. That's Division 1. When you play two good teams playing against each other for finals spots on the ladder, that's what you're going to get. So it'd be interesting to see. What separates these games, Lockie, is normally, like we called it a couple of weeks ago, a Ty Bedford magic inside 50. That's what separates these games. Both teams haven't found that player yet. But if I'm Nick Michaels, I can be that guy. If I'm Ty Bedford, I can be that guy. If I'm Lanzoni, I can be that guy. Or could it be a lesser light that we don't know? Bob up, kick a goal, set a goal up with just a clean passage of play.
Maybe, you know, even looking across the other side, I ran through some St. Peter's names in that second quarter, but I mean, you have a look, Silvac certainly could be. Maybe even Mo Baldwin could have a moment as well. Will Mead, I think. Finn Wakeland has snatched games away before. Darcy Best, playing down back, he's been pretty good. Maybe he will take a Leo Barry, star moment, you know, one of them where he just bobs up, takes a crucial mark, stops the key forward and wins the game that way. But unfortunately there, we don't know because footy doesn't have a script. It's one of the, I don't know why I said unfortunately, because it's one of the best things about the game. Live sport, it really is the best reality TV. And you're watching the best show in town, the BTR Excavations Division 1 Adelaide Footy League on a Saturday afternoon. There's nowhere you'd want to be other than here. And have a look at that sun blazing down on that. I can tell you now, sitting behind, there's sometimes you really want to be sitting on the balcony and there's a veranda there protecting you. Other times, though, you just wish the veranda would go away and you get that sun fill down on your back as well. It's gonna be a great second half, and I tell you what, these boys will be feeling nice and warm in that, well, late afternoon sun, I guess.
Yeah, after last Saturday's weather, it's nice to see. Like I said, we're lucky here. The oval here is in pretty good condition, isn't it? Not like some of the ovals really took a pounding, junior footy, but they don't have that concern here, do they, Rostrevor, with junior teams killing off their oval? It's just their senior football program. So oval's in good condition, barely a breath of wind, tight arm wrestle, classic Div 1 game. See what happens in the second half.
Yeah, it looks, as you said, the oval in absolute perfect condition. The only thing that I guess kind of would be making some players nervous is that big sand pit out in, I guess, kind of down there. Looks a little bit like a golf bunker on the near side wing to us. But aside from that, the oval has held up really, really well. A massive credit to all the ground staff here at Rostrevor, able to keep this one together as we get ready to go again. I don't know whether or not there's any cricket played out here during the summer. You're nodding as if there is. So potentially, you know, that will also, the oval won't get 6 months worth of rest, which I think is probably a good thing as well. But back to the game as well. What would have been your addresses for both teams? What would you have wanted your boys to be doing if you're Rostrevor and then obviously St. Peter's as well?
Yeah, if I'm coach of either team, I'm happy with the effort of my players. Nothing's really standing out. No one in the opposition really hurting us. I'm just asking, probably working with my forward line coach or even my midfield coach, can we put someone forward? Can Malachi Carruthers play forward today? You know, is it a day for that? There's so much congestion and you're asking your good players to play in the phone box. Can we get somebody out in space? So that'd be an interesting one for mine. If I'm St. Peter's as well, I still think they need to go a little bit more longer and director at times. I know that their key forwards aren't really there today, but I still think they need to get more territory, get the ball in deeper, and let Michaels go to work as a ground level player, not just as an aerial threat. So let's see what happens in the second half.
Indeed, we will. The answer to your Malachi Carruthers question of can he play forward remains no, because he's matched up against Xavier Transfer in the centre of the ground. But we're about to get ready to go. Henry Stewart, Ray, Patrick Baldwin, The midfield waits, and we are away. Ball gets tapped and bounces towards Bedford. Might just bounce past him. Does he pick it back up? He does. Good work there. Gives it across towards the man wearing the inverse of his number in Carruthers. Carruthers then gets it forward. There's a bit of numerology for the folks. As the footy's then fired forward, and that is going to bounce over and out there. Interesting second half. You feel like with either team that there is a real moment of, I guess, kind of desperation coming here. You don't win this one, you start looking behind you instead of ahead of you. Certainly from St. Peter's, if Port District get up, you'd start looking behind you. You wouldn't be too worried about the monster task that remains ahead of you, and you just focus on finishing second, solidifying that, and then starting to have a look at getting them on grand final day. As the footy goes back. For Rostrevor, if they lose, they may not even get the opportunity to play in a finals, elimination, qualifying or otherwise. As the footy emerges with Bedford. I don't quite know how he did that. It was like Moses parting the seas as the ball goes in. And that might land with Ty. Might still land with Ty Bedford. Ty Bedford picks it up, snaps towards goal and intercepted. Well done. Excellent work again. Kick towards the outer side. Butcher, near side, sorry, is where the footy is. Butcher then just decides to go up and work towards Swanbury. Swanbury, game 100 for him. Him and Lim, of course, playing their hundredths together. Probably, I think it's a fair statement. They've played a lot of footy together. Why not their hundredths as well? As the kick off a step favours Nelligan, and my apologies, Belperio rising and taking a pretty good grab. St. Peter's going to send the footy back from where it came, unless they do find an option inside. Carruthers was the one. He had transferred trailing off of him, but in the end, it's a pretty good step around the mark, and Nelligan now with the football.
It's been pretty good today, Nelligan, hasn't he? We've called him a fair bit. And across to his partner in crime, Bedford. He's had plenty of the footy as well. Great candy inside.
Oh, Bedford, he didn't from there, did he? No, ball falls just short, and well done. The double spike to get that one over the boundary line. Pretty clever and quick thinking from Best. Margin now extends out to 2 points. Of course, 2 and a bit minutes into this third quarter. Adelaide Footy League BTR Excavations Division 1 live across the streams of Filming Footy. A massive thanks to our broadcast partners, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by IRTC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. And, big ride. I think he went about a day and a half early. I don't quite know how he's complaining at that there, Belperio. He took Charles Kemp as a stepladder. He thought he was at Bunnings doing some home renovations there. That's how high he got, but that is not quite going to fly. As there's another fly coming now. I was going to say as well, they rudely interrupted the middle of my ad read, so I was just going to say as well, Kieran Hayuketsu bring us the scoreboard. Hello, yes, Kieran Hayuketsu, and there's some great prizes on offer as well that we will get to with a break in play. So the footy goes inside, and McCormack called it, and he took the mark as well and tells everyone back up.
It's a good mark by McCormack. Like I said, his opponent, Weeks, really wears him like a glove, but he just got the kick to the advantage side there, was able to hold him off. He's taller than his opponent. Wouldn't say he was stronger, but that was a good mark. And we saw him kick a set shot in the first quarter from a similar spot, didn't we, Lockie? So let's see what the big fella can do.
Of course, it's one of those things as well. Weeks' defensive style is very much like that old-fashioned fullback. You know, you think of maybe a Spud Frawley from the AFL, you think of maybe a Dustin Fletcher, where they're just willing to just not really give their opponent any room at all. Now, big moment. McCormack. Kick. On its way, bit of a floater, and I think it's gone across the face. I think it's missed everything in the end. No umpire signals for a behind instead. So the margin closes again, 1 point. It's what it was at half-time. St. Peter's just holding a very narrow margin indeed. As we get ready to start again. Long kick down the line. Bedford the intended target. The pack arrived and crunched him. So then it's going to work out okay for Baldwin. Baldwin then gave the hand pass off, kick inside forward 50, Lanzoni, and Lanzoni with the ball. An opportunity for him to go back and take a kick at goal. Already has one, would love a second. So you're having a look, multiple goal kickers already today. Only Lant Brooks on the list.
He'll look to pass off here, Lanzoni. I'm not sure he's got a 51-metre set shot in his repertoire. Well, he's put the mouth guard in the sock, and he reckons. Let's hope, for his sake, it doesn't land on the goal line and it's punched through.
Well, he might be making you eat some humble pie there. He loads up. Great angle on the camera, but in the end it's fallen short, and it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a mark, sorry. Going the way Looks to be St. Peter's, who are just working it round at the back. Margin's still a point. And towards the outer side there, or the near side, sorry. The kick now finds its way out to Higgins, and Higgins, well, Higgins in no real rush, I think is the best way to put it for James. Much like much of his St. Peter's teammates moving at the back. Kick decided to go out. Turnover coming here now. Rostrevor set up well defensively. It's with Lanzoni, who this time decided to try and chew off a pass. But in the end, ended up only in the hands of Weeks. Of course, McCormack, Weeks. That's an interesting battle as well. Probably say it's been a pretty even fight, you'd say. Probably 50-50. No one really on top. Maybe McCormack 10-9 and then 9-10 and 9-10 in the second quarter. Let's get ready to go again. It's the ball, well, working at the back. There's Bedford. He just launched on it, but no one launched on him. He was able to get a hand pass across, and now still with Bedford. And he might have been taken out of the footy, and the umpire saw that one as well. So it's going to come back towards Scott Bedford, and still the fight continues. But there's going to be a boundary report from down there with Jack Banwell.
Yeah, the St. Peter's, they can't quite get the ball out of their back half. Rostrevor are doing really well to cut off that switch. We saw them chip it around for the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, and Rocks have adjusted really well. Spock haven't really fired a shot from their back half since.
There we go. Very impressive work down there. Jack Banwell, can you believe it? First time he's done some boundary riding for us, and he's already knocking it out the park. So the footy now flicked across. We'll have him in here post-game as well. He'll be able to tell us what he was thinking. Of course, post-game as well. Don't miss it. The awards, always great to hear from the players. Adam Jeffrey's able to just get the source of truth straight from the horse's mouth there as the kick from Bedford goes up the line. It's going to be a free kick there. Oh, no, sorry, it's going to be a ball up there. And the umpire says, we'll have that one thrown back to me, gentlemen. We'll start this again. Far side. Just a stone's throw from the centre there, slightly towards the advantage of the left-hand side of screen. As Weeks somehow was in the middle there, able to get it forward. Bouncing ball. Oh, how's that happened? That was a brilliant bounce. Still they work it round. Nelligan had it stripped off him. Allen, an opportunity for the late inclusion. He'll be the main man now. Brilliant goal, Hamish Allen.
Fortuitous bounce in the end, wasn't it? But when the ball bobbles around in that part of the ground, was Nelligan just had the strength to get the handball away. That was critical there. He's had a pretty good day, Nelligan, but that was composure to be tackled, but still have the strength to get a handball to your teammate. Good snap by Allen. I said Rostrevor had all the running in the first 6 or 7 minutes, not able to score. St. Peter's on the counter-attack. Get one.
Yeah, they do indeed. Of course, from the Kieran Hayuketsu scoreboard, massive thank you to them for their sponsorship. And the margin now sits at a 7-point advantage. 33 plays 26. As we get ready to go again, umpire throws it up and departs the centre circle and lets the players take centre stage. Miranda tried to just get his way through, and that is going to be a free kick there. Umpire throw on the whistle. Play on's the call. Wharton gets it inside forward 50. Lanzoni somehow arrived on it. Got tackled. There's plenty of calls for holding the ball. Ignored there, and that's a good mark as well. Tulio Di Matteis sends it inside. Lanzoni picks it up. Can he be the hero? Not really from there. Nistransky, well, that bounced past him.
Last touch, free kick. Just looking dangerous, Lanzoni, though, isn't he? He hasn't pieced it together. We saw the shot for goal, the kick inside 50, the snap there. He hasn't pieced it together, but he's getting his hands on the footy, which will be pleasing for him.
Of course, as the footy comes back now with, well, it might work out okay. Kick was just kind of sent out. Oh, well done, Lanzoni. Just found himself hanging about. It's exactly what you're talking about there, Adam.
Yeah, he's just looked dangerous this quarter. Like I said, he hasn't been able to impact. But, oh, he's gone the short pass across the ground. He's found a teammate.
I was going to say, hopefully they don't regret it. He found McCormack. So, again, that battle, very interesting there between, I guess, McCormack and Weeks. Who's going to end up getting the advantage there? Potentially, whoever does, what you'll end up seeing is that they end up winning the game for their team.
Not sure it's McCormack.
It's not. No, it's not. Shoot.
Might be Shoot, yeah.
My apologies there.
Who usually is a neat kick for goal.
So, Shoot, kicks, gets it through the middle. Adds his name to the goal-kicking list. Does Shoot. And unbelievably, we've had so many multiple goal kicks as well. I'll count them up and get it back to you. 9 minutes 58. Margin cuts it back to just the 1 points. 32 plays 33. And that, of course, on the Kiran Hayuketsu scoreboard, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've had 10 goals for the day. 9 of them have come from different avenues. So lots of footy there. Only multiple goal kicker on the ground. Fergus Lamp Brooks. Not very often you would have said that about his career, but he'll certainly take that one as well. As we go back to the centre of Campbelltown Memorial Oval, plenty of excitement there. Of course, for Ladies' Day, they've got the umbrellas set up as Wharton tried to just charge his way through. He was claiming he was tripped, and the umpire said he was, so we'll certainly take that one. As Wharton looks to start again, then sends it out towards the top of the 50, big fly! And Boxer, like a jack in the box, got up, took the mark. That was sensational.
Love to see a replay on that if we can.
Do you reckon he's going to be going to Bianco to get some toolboxes? Meanwhile, Boxer plays on the kick for goal. Not quite as good as the mark. Couple floating across. Trying to claim there's a mark there. They've got it. And this time it is McCormack. So Rostrevor are in some real fine form at the minute. But I was going to say there, Adam, do you reckon he needs a toolbox? Do you reckon he's going to be going to Bianco in the week?
Yeah, I'd love to see a replay of that one. We'll have to have a look at it later. But this is an important shot for McCormack, though. Just getting a little bit of momentum here, Rostrevor. It should be a simple snap from this range. Let's see what the big fella can do.
Let's see. Oh, looked like he was going to play on then. Umpire blew the whistle, though, and said we'll restart. McCormack turns, snaps, goals. Rostrevor in front.
Yeah, good composure by the big fella. Playing at full forward. It's his second goal now, so it's a good contribution. Like I said, his opponent's wearing him pretty tight. But he didn't get flustered on the initial attempt. Went back, kicked it. It was a great mark by Boxer, though, wasn't it? Which really set that up. We spoke at half-time about just a little bit of magic being needed. We've got that so far. We'll head down to the boundary line.
Yeah, just on Tom McCormack, he was actually getting some work done at half-time. Not sure, it was in the lower leg region, not exactly sure, but doesn't look to be troubling him. He's been involved in this third quarter.
Certainly not. And, of course, we appreciate the work of Jack Banwell down there. Without him, we wouldn't know that there was the potential for some leg injuries to flare up later in the game. But 5-point advantage to Rostrevor. Be a massive win for them. Massive loss as well for St. Peter's. It also goes the other way. A draw might be the only result where it doesn't affect the two teams too badly. As towards the outer side, that's still very much a possibility. Towards the outer side, a long circulating high footy. Big fly, no one able to quite take the advantage there. Ball from Fergus Carruthers, and they're chasing back after it. Collected there by Rostrevor, kept in somehow. Well done, Lim. There's Kemp, and Kemp, well, he might have just extracted the footy away towards one of his teammates. Footy over the top towards Lanzoni. Lanzoni didn't quite work out. Now he's tackled. Absolutely latched on there. Great work in there from Harkins. As the footy just turns and... Oh, no. Finn Wakeland scared himself. Dropped the footy. As Lim turns. High snapping ball. Wakeland then goes in, tries to win it there. Fist connects nicely. Butcher gets it away, centre of the ground. Great kick. That was sensational. Nistransky. Don't know if you know this about Matthew Nistransky, but did an internship with Channel 9. So spent a little bit of time there. Also, much like myself and you, Adam, tried to carve out a career in the media, and Banwell as well on the boundary. This kick goes down along the line, finds Kemp, and Kemp decides to turn, gets it inside forward 50, and there's a good mark. Excellent mark there. And it works out okay in the end. It's going to be in the hands of Boxer.
Yeah, it's another good mark, isn't it? It's good jukes inside 50. Just getting on top, Rostrevor, because they found some winners inside 50, haven't they? Getting a lot of ball inside 50, but getting their hands on it. Going for their third goal for the quarter already. Almost could have kicked a couple more. So it's the type of mark and goal that can separate a game. Let's see what Boxer can do.
Almost as if what you say, Adam Jeffries, goes at this level. As Boxer. Could he be the hero? Kicks on its way. Across the face, mark taken. McCormack again. Weeks is faded.
Yeah, that's a good mark by McCormick. Just starting to get on top of that matchup, isn't he? And it's for those missed kicks at goal twice. We saw him on the goal line previously, and now the missed kick from Boxer at goal. And good play by the big fella, just being alert to the fact that that's where the ball can go. So good play by the big fella. And I don't want to put the commentator's curse on McCormick, but he's normally a very neat set shot for a tall guy. So having a go at his third in a low-scoring game, it's a big contribution.
Absolutely, it is. Of course, got a little bit of a poke in the eye there, it looks like, from the player that was trying to smother. But hopefully he's okay, or spoil, I should say, as he holds that footy and gets ready to kick. This would be the biggest lead of the game for Rostrevor, and just 2 points shy of the biggest lead of the game overall. So, for an 11-point ball game, kick on its way. No, no, no. And it all goes away. It all goes away. Equal game high for Rostrevor now. 6 points. They let it 6 points at the 39-minute mark, the 39-second mark when they kicked the first goal of the game. The 11-minute 52 mark of the second quarter, and they've led again by 6 points at the 6-minute mark, and then at the 6 and 9-minute mark. As is an interception. Turning here is Wakeland. Wakeland then sends it back from where it came. That kick always favoured, and always favoured Weeks.
It's under a bit of pressure here, St. Peter's. You can see the kick out before, straight up the guts to nobody. Just lost a little bit of system here.
Not quite, yeah, again, not quite sure who they were aiming for there. In the end, they found Wakeland, but kick back across from where it came. Belperio. Ball goes up the line. Good mark taken there by Kemp, and Kemp might turn and have a little bit of a look here. He does. Fires the kick back inside. Oh, a bit of a push then.
It's paid it, yep.
Yep.
An advantage as well.
Advantage into the open goal. Well worked, Lanzoni. Caught everyone napping and sprinted away.
Yeah, I'm never sure about those advantages. When everybody stops for mine, it's not an advantage. You should have to go back and take his set kick. But Lanzoni said, you know what? I'll keep going. St. Peter's weren't aware. And it takes the 30-metre set shot away, and he just strolls in and kicks a goal. He's been dangerous this quarter, Lanzoni. We'll see the classic again. He'll come off for a breather. But yeah, they're on top here, Rostrevor. It's their best patch of the game. Most importantly, they've kicked 3 goals. They need to kick another and just get a little bit of separation for St. Peter's, who are really struggling to get the ball over halfway at the moment.
Yeah, a massive quarter as well for them. It's been a 20-point to 7 quarter, 3 goals to 1. Rostrevor leading this quarter by 13, and now the game by 12 as well. 2 straight kicks, though, would fire it back. St. Peter's need to get a little bit of a wiggle on here. Premiership quarter certainly belonging to Rostrevor. They are rocking at the minute. Wakeland in the ruck this time, just slaps it as far forward as it'll go. Might be picked up here. Needs to work it out. And that's going to be a ball up.
Certainly not panic stations for St. Peter's. We saw this at Webb Over a few weeks ago, and they had a huge last quarter, didn't they? They separated the game. But yeah, they're just struggling to find a little bit of rhythm in this match. Just a bit of a grind out here for them at Campbelltown today so far.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's Harkins, who's certainly lifted as well for St. Peter's. He's going to lay a tackle there. Stop the ever quick Beau Baldwin from going anywhere else. Footy goes back up. Oh, well done. Transfer. Somehow got it out. Oh, Kemp. Like he was playing baseball. Straight into the mitt. Sides to Will. Gets it inside forward 50. Ball falls to space. No one really there after it. Hamish Allen is a goal kicker already on the day. Bouncing footy over the top of everybody. Eventually someone had to go and grab it, and Kemp did. Came off the shoulder then of Miranda. And still they work it out. Wharton. Little hand pass. Bedford was in there as well. Allen at the back. Mark taken. Oh, was there a 50? Sorry, that'll be a 25. My apologies.
See if they can break through here, St. Peter's. They haven't gone forward in a while, but they might have a player out in space now.
Ianello then found.
Nice hit up.
Oh, should have been a mark. Sometimes when it is not your time, it is not your time. It's been their day for the first half. It hasn't been since. It's cleared again. Baldwin then found McCormack. And McCormack now just waits and waits and waits. He's got nothing forward because it's where he should be. Somehow he had to come all the way down to the wing, and he's got nothing to kick to. So just a little bit of a floater on the air there. And it's going to work out. Silvac trying to claim a throw with a Rostrevor faithful. They weren't getting that in the end. The umpire says dead heat, gentlemen, my ball.
Just dodged a bullet there, didn't they, Rostrevor? They can really hurt St. Peter's if they can win this stoppage and go inside 50. Umpires plucked the free, but it will go to Stuart Rattray with his size in the ruck.
Stuart Rattray wins that one there. And I tell you what, we're obviously at the Adelaide Footy HQ. We're running low on Archies. He needs to start winning some best on ground zones. He's the only one with a better size 15 feet. We've got about 87 pairs of them hanging about. So if he could start winning some best on grounds, that'd certainly help us out. As the Footy is just a little bit of a floater. Again, inside forward 50, hitting it. Nelligan, they try and get it towards the outside, and they do. Kick came from Carruthers. Fergus Carruthers it is. Michaels is there. Footy bounces away. 20 minutes gone in this quarter. Four goals, so you'd say somewhere maybe around the 26, 27 mark in terms of time on for what will end up. Obviously time off at the minute as the Footy gets brought back in. Now the kick. 11 points the difference. What a great game of footy. Hasn't been high scoring, hasn't been one if you like goals, but I tell you what, if you're a big fan of just football, it has been very interesting to watch the tactical masterclass here of Mike O'Leary and of Damien Boots. One just survived Division 1 relegation, one went up. And they are playing now like two teams that have been here for years. Bedford, speaking of players that have been here for years, twisting and turning, gets it across towards Weeks, and then Weeks just goes inside forward 50. Now still, that might be hanging on. It might be a free kick. Michaels might have won himself the ball. No, Nelligan's won it instead. So Nelligan.
Wonder if he's got this range in him. He's been good today, Nelligan. I think he's been one of St. Peter's better players. He's just put himself in good spots all day. Won 2 or 3 high free kicks by just getting in low, which he did on that occasion. His team desperately needs a settler. I'm not sure if he's got a 45 to 50 metre set shot in him.
It'll be interesting here to see what he's able to do as Nelligan lines up, kick to it, standing forward by himself. Unbelievable. All of a sudden, it just worked out okay, and it looks like, again, that's Fergus Lamp-Brooks. So for goal number 3 on his day. You wouldn't dare think to get them kick-started again. They would have thought that coming in at 8. He was a late inclusion. He might be the hero.
Yeah, it was a good mark in the end. Like I said, there's a wrestle on the point post. He was able to just float in unattended. So Rostrevor, defensive coach, would probably like to know where his opponent was. But again, nice composed snap as well, wasn't it? On the left. Good mark on the point post. Much needed goal for St. Peter's. As much as they've been struggling, they're only 5 points down. So they've still got another gear in this match. I think we're going to have an exciting finish, Lockie.
To be fair to his opponent, he may have been at the barbecue. That's still absolutely smelling delicious down there. I can see the server down there. Big smile on his face. Loves it. As the Footy gets ready to go again in the centre. Wharton might charge his way through. Not able to. Just a socket inside the forward 50 there for Rostrevor. And a mark given. Oh. Apologies. That was forward 50 there for St. Peter's as we get ready to start again. From College as the Footy goes up the line. Fine shoot. Shoot then. Nearly looked to be taking it on. Decided against that. And then a little kick up the line. Just a little bouncer. Baldwin, it went past him. He needs to win this Footy out now. Slipping and sliding on hands and knees. Now the ball's just going to work its way around. Little pass at the back. Kemp just takes his time. And kicks out towards the outer side. And that's a good mark down there as well. Little turn inside, fine shoot. Shoot. Then at the back. Then he just turns. Sends it up flying! Oh! Wow! McCormack. He reached the stratosphere. Wakeland reached the stratosphere, sorry. The ball goes inside forward 50 now. Now, one gets fired back out. That one is going to be a mark taken at the back there.
Great mark by Wakeland. He's just inserted himself into the game. He had a really quiet first half, didn't he? His third quarter's been really good.
There's a kick there to Allen, and Allen starts to get that ball across. Oh, Nelligan was crunched by Mead, and there's a little bit of a fight going on now between those two.
And then we've got a downfield free kick potentially here as well. So is it Tranford's got the football about 40 metres out. So not sure exactly what that was for. Was it off the ball downfield?
Either way, free kick to Tranford, but I want to see this mark again because this, I tell you what, if you need a play of the day, this might be one of them. Oh!
Big launch.
Wow. Going down to the boundary side there with Jack Banwell after this kick as Tranford kicks it on its way towards, didn't quite work out in the end. Wakeland might be able to cap off his great mark with a great finish. The dance step. Was holding the ball. Baldwin's kicked the goal. What's happened here? Confusion everywhere. And it looks like it's going to be holding the ball against Wakeland. So I reckon we're going to go down to Jack Banwell down there.
Yeah, it was just funny to see Tranford and Nelligan, obviously ex-Red Leg teammates. As we have three-quarter time, bring us in there, Lockie.
We do have three-quarter time there. Thank you, Jack Banwell. We'll come back from the ad break here, what you had to say there, and we'll also hear from both the teams' huddles. 7-3-45 plays 6-4-40 on the other side of this. Jack Banwell at the huddles at this crucial game in this season.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New 氷結 Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Yes, we are back here at Campbelltown Oval. 5 points the margin to Rostrevor. It's Rostrevor's game to lose here. They wanted a dogfight and they sure got it. It's been scrappy all afternoon for St. Peter's in this last quarter. They want the ball on the ground. They think they look dangerous at ground level, so watch for that one. And in close results this season, both teams 2 wins, 2 losses in games decided by single digits. And this one looks like it's going to be a cliffhanger as well. So hang on to your seats and get ready for this last quarter. Back to you in the comm box there, Lockie and Adam.
Exciting last quarter of football. Just a little bit of an update from around the grounds. It does look like this game's going to be decided in a moment. We've got Paynham Norwood Junior 4:10:34, Golden Grove 13:6:84. So they've got the job, or nearly the job done there. A 50-point advantage to them. Across the other side as well, Glenunga 7:4:46. Port District 10:8:68. So Port District getting the job done over the old foes there in the Rams. Salisbury North at 14:10:94. Broadview 2:6:18. Another disappointing day for Broadview. The Hawks far too good at Salisbury North Oval. Meanwhile, Prince Alfred 8:8:56. They've been valiant. Sacred Heart 8:10:58. That's going to have massive implications on this game here. If Rostrevor don't win now and Sacred Heart do, it would see Sacred Heart go inside the 8. Salisbury North will get another win as well, so they'll move up and be equal on points with Golden Grove as well, as that race for 3 starts to kind of unfold, and it would see Rostrevor outside. So it is a massive win as well for St. Peter's. If they don't win, Port District will find themselves more than likely a game clear on top of the ladder. Less disastrous because it means you're still playing finals, but obviously still not ideal. When you've got the opportunity to finish in a minor premiership role, finish in a minor premiership role. Here we go. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Last quarter of footy for these two teams for today. They must win. They simply must. There is nothing else that can happen for these two. And for one of them, something else will happen. Ball now going back the other way towards Cesare. So Cesare to get it started. Got to get the footy inside forward 50 here. A long booming kick. Bouncing ball. Should be collected there at the back. Off a step there. Boxer got towards Wakeland. Not quite as impressive as the one he took at the end of the third quarter. If you want to watch that back, that was an absolute screamer and a half. Wharton, this time, was able to do a couple of dance steps and get it inside forward 50. There it is. Play on. Shoot. Shoot to set it up. There it is. Rostrevor. Wow. What a game of footy this is turning into. That was a big, big moment. Have a little look at this. Shoot on the dartfish. Gets the margin out to an 11-point ball game, and Rostrevor will start to believe again. Just 45 seconds into the contest, and now it is 51 plays 40. And I tell you what, Adam Jeffries, this is going to be an exciting finish. 8-3, plays 6-40.
Important to get that first goal, though, wasn't it, for Rostrevor? You can hear the crowd get excited. They've got a bit of momentum, haven't they? Like I said, St. Peter's haven't been at their best today. Need a little lift out of the middle of the ground here.
Ball might still work out that way now. Picked up, well done, Bedford. Able to just get that one off from Carruthers. And then the footy goes inside. Higgins is there. McGill's there. They work it out between themselves. Getting involved now. Ianello off a step. Swooping kick. Oh, there's your comeback. And there's the fire starter.
It's a great goal by Ianello. Haven't called him a lot today, have we? I've been impressed with his season. He's had some really good games, maybe a bit quieter today. That's a really important response. I said that St. Peter's just haven't quite been at their best, but that's a great response. That's what good teams do. They're not playing at their best. They're down a few troops today, but they just got to find a way to grind out a win here at Campbelltown to keep their aspirations of top spot going. I think Port Districts are up at the other venue, so they need to win today. So great response there by Ianello. We are going to have a close finish, aren't we, Lockie?
Oh, I can just feel it. I can just feel the veins get excited. I can feel the fans getting excited. Who's going to have ice in their veins? Who's going to be the hero? Is it Nistransky again? Will he do it as the footy goes up? Might just work its way out. Wharton brought down. There's Allen. Allen just off a step, just decides to pound it. Fist came through. Ianello, could it be him? 2 in a minute. Does he trap it? No, footy rolls away from him. Higgins picked it back up. Higgins, little kick.
Clever.
And well done, Fergus. And that was really nice as well. I heard you say the word clever there, and I'm assuming it's because you didn't see Higgins just blaze a goal.
Nah, 100%. And they're those little moments that you need, isn't it? It's easy up here. And if I was playing, I would have blazed that goal because I didn't have the composure, great composure to lower his eyes there. And a great response by St. Peter's after the initial goal by Rostrevor. They had 2 centre clearances and having their second shot on goal.
If I was playing, I'd be on the bench. So you're doing better than me, Adam. As the kick goes in, Carruthers gets the goal, and St. Peter's are back in front.
I said really mature response by St. Peter's. You don't accidentally get to second on the ladder, do you?
No.
Like I said, they are a few troops down today. they're going to have to grind this win out without playing tremendous football. But it's moments, isn't it? So Rostrevor had theirs, 2 quick goals as we go down the boundary, Jack.
Yeah, we've called for a match winner this afternoon, and Fergus Carruthers could well be that. He was the match winner versus Port Districts in round 10. He kicked 3 last quarter goals, and he's already got one in this last term. So looking out for him, he could be the spark.
Absolutely, he could be. Who is going to be the match winner? There's about 10 or 12 players. You could basically throw a blanket over anyone. The team sheets are up here. You're welcome to come and take a look and have a look who you think it might be. The footy goes down. Now it is with Tranfer. Tranfer, just a high, long footy inside. Reed was fighting hard at the back. There's a 3-on-3 here. Wakeland kicks it, this time bouncing towards goal. Does it sit nicely? It doesn't. Good tackle, Lanzoni, though. It wasn't a good tackle because he took Edward Allen with the footy. And Allen says, back up, please.
Tranfer sent a clearance, just ball on the deck, put his foot through it, got 50 metres territory, absolutely flushed it off the ground.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think you could give Xavier Tranfer 1,000 and more attempts to do that. And I'm not sure he'd kick it quite as well as he did then. So the footy goes out towards, wow, that looks to be Ianello there. Couple of options for the previous goal kicker aside from Fergus Carruthers. Ball goes up. No one able to quite take it. Oh, well done. Good grab. Little snap off the instep. Circulating ball, Weeks. Too good. Too good.
Good fight that by Weeks. McCormick had a couple of moments in the third quarter. It's been a good matchup, actually. Old school full forward, full-back matchup. Both had their moments.
Yeah, again, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, and 10-9. You'd probably say McCormack just, but it's been a great battle. Told almost by the fans to told to play on, and then the umpire agrees. Belperio just going for a bit of a jog. Kick. Oh no, Tranfer was there. Read it a little bit like a book. Unfortunately, the chapter closed, but he won himself the free kick. So then Tranfer decides to get the footy inside. Forward 50. Big punch away. After it there, Kemp. Still they twist. Still they turn. Footy towards the outer side. Big clearing kick, and that'll do. That will do. As, oh no, it won't, because Butcher's taking the mark. Wharton back across. Inside. Kick.
Beautiful.
Hits the leading target.
One of the best kicks today by Wharton. Just leant back and absolutely chiseled it onto the chest of Lanzoni. We haven't seen a lot of perfect play go inside 50 today, have we? We've seen a lot of dirty ball, we call it, going inside, but that was a perfect pass and a great lead by Lanzoni. Lining up for his third, I think. He hasn't had a huge day, but 3 goals from your small forward is a pretty good contribution.
So Lanzoni to put Rostrevor back in front. The lead changes continue. It's swinging and it's swirling and it's a kick at goal. Lethal Lanzoni gets it.
Yeah, lovely set shot there by the skipper. Like I said, he was a little bit quiet at times in that first half, wasn't he? But he lit up in the third quarter, found himself with the football plenty of times, set up a goal for his team. And now he's got 3 himself, I think, Lockie. So he's had a really good game.
It has indeed. We're going to go back again. In the centre of the ground. Getting ready to fire up. We're waiting and we're waiting. Breath drawn, drinks got, game back underway. As it might work its way up. There's a good tackle being laid there, and that is going to be a ball up. There's a bit of fireworks in this one, not unsuspected there. Of course, as both teams, these 2 teams obviously opposing colleges. So as Wharton gets this one inside forward 50, they probably would have played a lot of school footy against each other, these boys. As they do emerge with the ball now. Flicked across, good little footy, finds Allen. And Allen from half back, kicks it up the ground. And that is going over the line. So the umpire says we'll throw it back in.
Game's just starting to open up a little bit, isn't it? We saw a real arm wrestle in the first half. We saw some better play in the third quarter. Now already 4 good goals in the first 8 minutes. So the game just starting to open up. Fatigue setting in. This is where you got to be clean.
Ball might find its way out. It doesn't quite. Wharton just drops it. As Trace is racing after it there. Bedford was involved, as was Boxer. Well done there, as you mentioned. Allen with the pickup. Oh, Edward Allen snapped shut there. Great tackle. The footy just ends up high. No one able to quite take it. And that's a good tackle on Higgins as Higgins ripped to the dirt. Umpire says, we'll throw that one back up, gentlemen. Umpire's got that one. Music starting from what sounds like inside the club room, so potentially the after party already starting to get underway. As Adam Jeffries just nods his head a little bit in the commentary box. Would that have been one you would have listened to back in the day, Adam?
Not sure what song that is, but yeah, it's a bit of a party atmosphere here as we go down the boundary to Jack.
Hang on. I think Jack wants to say what songs he was listening to back in the day. Down to Jack.
There's plenty of music happening, and the girls are only getting louder from the Silly Saturday shenanigans, so it's good atmosphere down here.
I like the alliteration then, Jack. Silly Saturday shenanigans. It was brilliant. Speaking of brilliant, there might be a play here that's on. Advantage is the call. Baldwin gave it back from where it came, and then the kick just down the line. Boxer. Oh, the step through was brilliant. Then the fend off was it. Oh, legging, and they're going to riot at St. Peter's. The boundary is absolutely screaming at the umpire. We don't like seeing it as the ball goes forward. Collected there, Nelligan. Nelligan gives a little hand pass off and down and through, and that was a brilliant footy that works out okay. Fergus Lamb-Brooks got the pink boots on, very considerate to the umpires, gives us something to identify him via, as that's a great mark. As Shoot turns inside. Oh, good kick. It was dangerous, but it worked out okay. Miranda. Football there. He's up from the centre of the ground. They load it up. Baldwin chasing it. Wasn't quite able to keep his feet in the contest. And might work out okay as Best gives a little hand pass off. Ran out of room. And unfortunately there for Rostrevor, we're going to have a ball back in. 10 minutes gone in this last quarter. Rostrevor lead it by 5. 9-3 plays 8-4, 57 plays 52. It's just one of a number of lead changes all day. You can go back through, have a look. There would have been, by my math, at least 10 or 12.
You can feel the tension in the Rostrevor crowd. They know that getting this win is going to help them finish in that top 5. If they lose this game, it'll leave them vulnerable in 6th. So big 15 minutes coming up for Rostrevor in particular.
Absolutely, it is. Oh no, left behind. Mead picked it back up. And Banwell's just set in areas. He's ready to go, but we're just going to let this play out. Miranda gets it forward. Bouncing ball. Good work by Nelligan. Nelligan then picks it up. Fired it back. Oh, this is just a step and a half ahead from Allen. Allen then turns it towards the outer side. Ianello. Ianello then just takes his opportunity. Slows the footy down. Finds McGill. McGill inside. Great kick. Banwell, what you got for us?
Just agreeing with Adam's thoughts there, mate. That's all.
No worries. Perfect. Thank you.
It's a great passage of play there by St. Peter's. One of the few times they've been able to go with composure from one end of the ground to the other. I thought it was Ianello that slowed it down to McGill, and that was an easy hit up inside 50 for that last kick.
It is your man Carruthers there, Banwell, as he just whispers sweet nothings into our ears. Kicks straight at goal. Carruthers. Oh, just across the face. And he just signals unhappiness there. His displeasure, that's for sure. Grabs the sock from the grabs the mouth guard from the sock and starts again. As 4 points is the difference. 57 plays 53. It is just on a knife's edge here. This game could go either way, and therefore, with the context of the season, it could go either way for these teams as well. Mead, run down, McGill, snuck up on him.
Yeah, good chase by McGill. He's normally a good user as well. He'll look for a short one, but there's a lot of numbers in front of him. Need a contest forward to the ball here, St. Peter's.
McGill, that was a big tackle. Could that be our play of the day? If it lends in a goal, very well might be.
Gave the play of the day to a tackle last week.
You
Not
did.
something you normally do, but...
But I tell you what, that tackle from Russo was, I had dreams about it all week. It was absolutely perfect. As the kick goes inside forward 50. It's a high circulating footy. It was up there with Wakeland.
High tackle.
Oh, free kick going the other way. And
I think
it's going to be Michaels.
Michaels has got it, yeah.
Michaels has the footy and the opportunity to send St. Peter's back in front. Has the ball on his foot.
Hasn't had any highlights yet today, Michaels, but he's just got in low a few times and won a few free kicks. Beauty of being a small forward is when you've had a bad day. All you need to do is bob up with one late. He's more than capable from this range, Michaels.
Michaels, goalless just once this year. Kicks on its way and just across the face. That was Banwell down there giving us that little golden nugget of information. He's got the sources of truth, doesn't he, Jack Banwell? He's been good down there, boundary side. As we start to look again. Tilio Di Matteus, long kick. And towards the outer side, and that's a good mark from Baldwin. Oh, Baldwin nearly was decapitated. Absolutely nearly had his head chopped off.
It's like when you walk into the clothesline as a kid.
Oh, yeah, I did that a few times. As the footy goes up towards... Oh, good mark taken. That's Nistransky, who's turning and having a look. Sending it inside forward 50. Well done! And that is a brilliant grab. And that time it's McCormack.
It's probably his best mark today, McCormack. He's had a handy day, but he really launched at the football there, which is good to see. The big fella, sometimes he's used just the body, but he actually launched at that football. And again, been a pretty good set shot from this range over the last couple of weeks. Lining up for his third.
One in the first, one in the third, now a third in the fourth. Rostrevor, if he kicks it, it leaves him with 10 minutes to do something magical. Kick on its way from 50. McCormack.
On the full.
Out on the full.
Just out of his range there, wasn't it? That's where I think some players just need to know if it's too far, put the ball 20 metres out, put your ego aside, put it to the right spot.
Well, the mark deserved better, unfortunately.
It was a great mark by McCormack. He's had a pretty solid day, the lanky full forward for Rostrevor.
Long kick down the outer side. Now it's time for the Flyers again. Footy this time just cleared off a step, just high and up, and transfer. Now he's in range.
Yeah, he won't pass this off. For a small statured man, he's actually got a big left foot on him, and he'll like the moment as well. He's a confident man and a confident player, so he'll love this moment.
Now, some of you may remember back down to round 2, Tony Neal and Alex Coots were calling that game. Xavier Transfer had an opportunity to win the game against Glenunga, didn't flush it. I wonder if that's playing on his mind at the minute. Doubt it. As Transfer steps in. Oh, I don't think it was playing on his mind at all. Xavier Transfer, is he the hero? Is he your knight in shining army, Rostrevor?
Yeah, good goal. Good composure. Like I said, he just went back slowly, knew he could kick it. He's got a pretty decent left leg on him, hasn't he, for a small statured player, 45 metres out. Flushed it through. He's been a solid player again today. He hasn't been his best day by way of possessions, but he's bobbed up with a couple of pretty handy goals, hasn't he? Got some damaging disposals forward of the ball, which is what he needs to do.
+9 on the scoreboard now for them. 63 plays 54.
St. Peter's responded last time this happened, didn't they? Got the next centre clearance and a goal straight away. They need that again.
They do. Time becoming just a faint alarm bell in the distance. Kind of if there was a burglary next door, you wouldn't really hear it. As Belperio goes across. Picked up by Nelligan. Nelligan across towards Carruthers. Carruthers then just takes a good little mark. Kicks up the line. And Baldwin might just pick it up here. He does, but it's going to go back the other way. And it's going to be a free kick going the way here of that looks to be potentially Carruthers. The ball goes inside there. Apologies, it wasn't. It was Allen. And he looks in a little bit of discomfort. We'll have Banwell on that just to see if anything happens. Bedford, meantime, takes a mark. Tells his direct opponent, just get off him. I've marked the footy. It's my free kick. Backs back, goes inside. Oh, just punched away there. And still, the clearing fist. Weeks back after it. No, not Weeks. Instead, it's going to be Allen. Allen then goes McCormack. A crucial little fingertip on it.
Pushes there. That a 2v1 there.
Advantage.
To do that.
He tried to go. He tried to go. He looked like he was off, like a bottle rocket, but unfortunately it's going to come back. Nelligan. And Nistransky is in real discomfort. Be interesting to see what's happening here. Matty D, right shoulder it looks to be. Just got the word from Hugo then, the producer. Or wrist potentially even as well.
He's got the shoulder strapped, hasn't he? So potentially he's coming to a game with a dodgy shoulder, and I feel like he's almost frustrated, resigned to the fact that something bad has happened again, which is not good to see.
Hopefully it's not the end for Nistransky for today. Of course, he was so good in that round 3 game. He won them the game against Prince Alfred, back when Prince Alfred were playing some really competitive footy in this division. and I looked like a genius with my tip. That so far did not quite show out. For fans of Between the Posts, I'll know what I'm talking about. But hopefully here, returning to the more serious matter at hand, Nistransky is okay. But it doesn't look like it. He's got that in a makeshift sling between his Guernsey. But that is not what you want to see as the applause ring out a little bit there for Matthew Nistransky.
What this stoppage does, though, is it allows Rostrevor to get all of their numbers behind the football. We've seen St. Peter's wanting to use the short pass. They should be onto it before they attack.
And that's a nice sign of respect as the applause rings out. Meanwhile, Footy back now with St. Peter's.
After his last spell.
And Wharton's now on, and that'll be the last time he sees the bench until post-game. Wakeland was leading at the Footy. He's taken a mark.
He's paid the hold to...
But it's going the other way.
Big St. Peter's ruckman under the ball there. Didn't quite see it. There's a bit of a wrestle happening. One of those 50-50 ones, but not sure if the big fella has the range here. Again, know your limitations. If you can't kick the ball 51 metres, kick the ball to the top of the square. Let's see what happens.
Johnny Reid, it is. You said this was the man they might need to get forward to win them the game. It's a big kick. That's across the face. Oh, it's a mark.
What's happened here? It's
Ironello,
the mark. It was Big McCarthy that had the big shot, and it was almost the coach killer on the line, but his teammates marked it.
See what he's able to do here. Ironello steps in. Nope. Does convert it. There we go. So they get it. Big goal. Ironello's found two. Not a very likely goal kicker at all. But he's ended up with two anyway.
They'll be disappointed on the goal line there, Rostrevor. That ball was up in the air a long time. Should have been fisted through. Ironello went to drop punt. Sometimes a lot of players would have gone around the corner there, but nice composure by Ironello. He's had a good last quarter, hasn't he? He's bobbed up 3 or 4 neat disposals and 2 goals. And we are nearly 21 minutes in, and it's 3 points the difference. Anyone's ball game.
Back to 3 points. This is exciting now, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to something for the finish of this one.
It's this time where the coaches need to get their preferred 18 in their preferred positions. We see Lanzoni coming back on. You've got to make sure you've got your gun players where you want them for this last 6 or 7 minutes.
There's just absolutely nothing. After they make those changes as well, the coaches become passengers much like us. It's left to the 18 on the field. Miranda might be able to get it forward. Wakeland did okay. Sent it inside forward 50. Allen was there chasing after it. Still there's Reid.
Boundary.
McCormack. And Banwell's got something on the boundary while they get this footy.
You can just feel the finals-like intensity down here. Rostrevor know that this is almost an elimination final for them. Lanzoni barking orders down here on the bench as he's waiting to come back on. And for St. Peter's, this can consolidate top 2. So plenty to play for here with minutes to go.
Absolutely, minutes to go. 5, maybe 6 at an absolute push. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals. Big fly. Great grab too. Massive mark. Kemp. He's done that a couple of times. That might be the best of the lot of them. So Kemp.
That was a spectacular mark in the pack by Kemp.
Goes inside. Big fly. Fisted away. Boundary line wins out.
So there's those nervous forward 50 stoppages. St. Peter's need to be goal side of their opponent. Can't slip that high tackle over the shoulder. It's probably only going to be one more goal in the match. They'll get the clearance.
Here they go. Allen just takes the clearance and finds a teammate. Anybody would have done wearing the blue. And it is in the end Ironello. Ironello, I think, has had a really good game today. His quarter's been absolutely sensational. Now it's across towards Allen. Allen then goes through the kick out towards, and a good mark taken as well at the back. As there is Tilio Di Matteis. Di Matteis just, again, doesn't get rushed by anybody until the umpire puts his hands up and tells him to move it on, please. And Allen in the hole. That was Charlie. Charlie, Edward and Hamish all out there today. Wouldn't it be great if they played in the win for their family that secured top 2 footy for St. Peter's in 2025. Meanwhile, footy going back the other way. Great grab by Kemp. Kemp then turns across, finds Butcher.
Still 3 or 4 minutes to go in this game, so I'm not sure they want to run the clock and be too cute here. But Kemp, some of his contested marking has been sensational.
We took that big, spectacular mark before. Here we go. Flyers. Boxall. Oh, it was Wakeland as well who was there. And still they scrap away. Lanzoni. Dirt. Reed. Umpire wins out. And still we wait. It is absolutely ballistic over on the other side of those benches. As the balcony gets involved as well. Miranda. There's a good little hand pass. Shoot, then sends it in. It's a good grab. It's a big grab to McCormack. And if he kicks it, you doubt Rostrevor can lose.
Credit to McCormack. Really dug in and held the front position there. And he's got a couple of centimetres on his opponent, hasn't he? And he took a really good mark. Been impressed with him today. But what he needs to do is ice the game for his team right now, because if he misses, St. Peter's have the ball, and we know where that will be going. So it's a big kick here for McCormack.
It's a massive kick for McCormack. Just hold on to something. Rostrevor to solidify themselves inside the 5. St. Peter's would be pegged back. It's all in Thomas McCormack's mind, and on his foot the game rests. McCormack sends it flying. McCormack ices the game. And it takes something special from St. Peter's now. But that was special from Big Tommy McCormack.
Yeah, you're right. It'll take something special. We don't know how long there is to go, do we? But we're pretty confident that there's not time for 2 goals for St. Peter's. Well done, McCormack. He stood up, didn't he? He took the contested mark. Took the contested mark earlier in the quarter. He was in range on that occasion. Was able to put it through from about 40, 45 metres. Well done to him. I think that's 3 goals. Good contribution in a low-scoring game from the tall forward.
It is indeed. So 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Absolutely brilliant there. Ball back in the centre. Going to be a ball up. Is now 69 plays 60. Hold. And that is going to get it out there by Carruthers. Still, there's time for St. Peter's. They need a mark. That might just be the best mark of the day. Boxer, that was brilliant. 2.5 minutes left on the game. And Boxer, I tell you what, that might be the best mark all day. And I know Wakeland took that screamer. There's a good mark as well to Bedford. Bedford then turns inside, finds Allen. Allen then turning, mark and chopped off. Out towards the outer side for Shoot. Or the near side, sorry, for Shoot. Shoot.
So St. Peter's need to man up, but not sure there's enough time for a turnover and 2 goals.
Butcher, and they're getting all kinds of advice from the benches out, from the balcony out there. Hit the boundary line. That's where they go. They leave it near enough. Free kick. Umpires found something, and I believe umpires found a free kick going the way of St. Peter's as they riot on the balcony out here. Weeks needs to go quickly. Not a lot of time to think their way through it. Fired back the other way. Big fist out and over the line. No, keeps it in, and still there's just some excitement here. St. Peter's, oh, unbelievable. A free kick. A free kick going the way of St. Peter's through Allen. And Allen lines up a big high pack. Great mark. And Wakeland's done it. And that's his best mark all day. I know this one in the third quarter was spectacular, but that's the most important.
It was an important mark as well, because there's still 1 minute and 10 to go in this game. So there was time for St. Peter's. Not sure if there is now.
70 seconds, still time ticks by. Bedford dancing, twisting, turning, little kick. McGill fires back. Valperio, you've got to go the other way, gentlemen. You don't have time to mess about with it. Carruthers inside and a mark. And this is important. This is an important kick. And it's Ironello again.
Going for his third for the quarter. It's a long kick for him, though. He can't take too much time. If he does kick it, I think there will be time for a centre bounce.
Let's see. Kick is on its way. Oh, it's hit the post. And that is all she wrote. It has hit the post. You just would not believe it. Ianello's almost incredible evening is going to end in utter despairing defeat. Rostrevor, well, they may have pulled off something very, very special. Play on's the call then from Dean Matthews. He's actually bounced the footy and then kicked it. So that's play on. As he exits his defensive 50. Stepic sees it over the line. Still time keeps ticking. How long's left? Nobody knows. The call of you. 15 seconds. So still time continues to tick. There's plenty of time here for something special. But the time continues to tick away. And still it ticks away. Bedford needs to be quick. Decides. Kicks inside. Forward 50. Mark to Fergus Lambrooks. No one really reacting as there's the siren. It ends in sweet, sweet relief. Lambrooks puts through a behind, but it matters not. And how sweet life is at the top, near the top of the Adelaide Footy League for Rostrevor. 69 plays 62, and after being defeated by 7 points last weekend, they emerge victorious at home, 7 points to the good. It was a real great game of football. St. Peter's will feel bitterly disappointed. Rostrevor bitterly excited at what September has ahead of them.
Yeah, big win for Rostrevor, wasn't it? They just weren't quite at their best today, St. Peter's, but that's okay. They haven't had too many downers this year. And there are a couple of troops down as well, St. Peter's, so it's no panic stations for them. They're still locked into a top 3 position. Rostrevor were the team that needed to win this game. They've got a tough run home. And well, they don't want to be that unlucky team that finished the 6th. So well done to them. It was a good game of football. It was a bit of a dour contest in the first half, wasn't it? But it just opened up a bit in the second half. We said at half-time what separates these games. Forwards need to stand up. We saw Lanzoni and McCormack in particular stand up and hit the scoreboard in the second half, Lockie, which was what was needed. Ianello had a go at being the hero for his team, but 7 points to Rostrevor. And accurate goal sheeting at the end of the day too. 11 goals, 3. Gets the job done. Was they see the highlights, Lockie?
Absolutely. We'll talk through them in a second, but I do want to very quickly run across to Park 9. Not literally. We'll run across via our phones because Prince Alfred 9-11, 65. Sacred Heart 9-12, 66. Had Rostrevor not won, they would have been outside the top 5 tonight. And with 3 rounds left to go in the season, it cannot be overstated how vitally important that is. Not the final scores from all the games, but we will go through them very quickly. 2010, 130, plays 6, 11, 47. So Golden Grove will get the job done at Payneham Norwood Oval. Meanwhile, across Glenunga, 9-5, 59. Port District, 12, 9, 81. You'd assume with 28 minutes gone in the fourth quarter, it's too late there for a Glenunga revival. Meanwhile, Salisbury North, 20, 10, 130, plays Broadview's 5, 8, 38. The Tigers' tough season continues as across at the other side, obviously here. 11-3, an accurate 11-3. Didn't realise it was 11-3, but it was in the end. 11-3, 69, plays 9-8, 62. Potentially there, a number of chances missed for St. Peter's. They will be left feeling ruined there as they walk off the ground. They will stay in second tonight, even though Golden Grove got the win, so potentially there they may even find themselves falling down to third. It may be reliant on ladder position. Yes, it will be reliant on percentage, and it looks like Golden Grove will be second tonight, and St. Peter's will be in third. That doesn't matter too much. It just means they're going down there to do a bit of a trek. It just means they might be going down to do a bit of a trek to Golden Grove come the first weekend of finals. And we are heading across to Jack Banwell with the award winners.
You certainly are. We're down here at ground level with some very happy Rostrevor players. We've got James Wharton, best on ground. Ryan Lim, best team man for his 100th game today. And in Wakeland, how many hangers did you take today, mate? There's plenty of moments for you.
Just a couple.
Beautiful. How about that one, in the last dying seconds there in the square?
Nah, it felt good. Good for you, like.
Beautiful. Do with the $100 voucher.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. I'll probably have to take the boys to have a few drinks on a Sunday night or something.
Yeah, for sure. You might have to take a few of the women's as well, mate. They were cheering your name all afternoon today, big fella.
You're going to have to, I reckon. Yeah, no, it's good. Cheers, mate.
How about you, Wardo, mate? You're an absolute ball in the middle of the ground, just doing the team thing, mate?
Yeah, nah, it's unreal. Spock were great.
Wrap it up, Wardo. Wrap it up, Wardo.
All right, we'll let you guys go. Fantastic win. Back to you in the com box there. Lockie, Rostrevor, very happy down here at ground level.
And that was super good, Rostrevor, and thank you again there to Jack Bauman. We do apologise for the swearing in the post-match interviews there, but you can kind of get it. These players, as I'm sure many of you know, are not media trained. But yeah, super exciting. Get the emotion as well from the players down there. As we just have a look, Bedford, well, he dropped the mark there. Probably could have taken one. Unfortunately, they didn't quite work out for him in the end. As we continue to have a look, I was going to mention as well, Golden Grove now second on the ladder. You would expect by the end of today with that massive percentage boost over the top of Payneham Norwood Union. Prince Alfred probably could have saved themselves, to be honest, when you have a look around the ground. Had they won that game, puts a massive amount of pressure on Payneham Norwood Union, because not only do they need to beat them in round 17, but they then need to find another win from somewhere else. Doesn't happen, unfortunately, there, as the applause just ring out for this Rostrevor team. They were so good. And they deserve it as well. Look at them as they march off. The crowd delighted as they just make their way out. High fives and applause. They feel like AFL footballers at the minute with all the noise that is being generated.
Yeah, good on them though.
Yeah.
It was a really good win and against their old Intercol rivals as well. You can see those boys were pretty happy.
Indeed. Yeah, and again, Salisbury North, you know, they could have found themselves outside had they lost. Broadview obviously haven't actually won a game all season, so it would have been a bad loss for them. Didn't happen that way. The greatest question on this game now is whether or not Salisbury North win it by 100 points. And obviously Glenunga, they're safe now. They're just making up the numbers for the rest of these games. They'll treat these as pre-season games for next year as they head into Division 1 in 2026, and they'll be desperate to bounce back. We don't often see, it's not even really a second season, Blue, because of how Glenunga play, because of how long Glenunga have been in the division. But it was a bit like they call it an England second season syndrome, where a team comes up from the championship, they go all right in their first season, they fall down. And it was a little bit like that there for Glenunga across this year.
Yeah, it's always going to be hard to stay at the lofty heights that they had over the last three seasons, really. A couple of teams have gone past them. They look like a bit of a tired team that looks to do something a little bit different next year. But back onto this game, like I said, huge win for Rostrevor. Like I said, when the top six play each other, you can see it in the AFL at the moment, the game last night. When the top teams are playing each other, they're so important because there's a win you get and a loss that your opponent gets as well. So they're genuinely sort of those 8-point games. So it was a big one today for Rostrevor. They would have been very vulnerable to sixth position on the ladder at the end of the year if they hadn't have got this one. And that was the one they would have looked back on and said, that's the one we needed. So they got it, though. They kicked accurately. Like I said, their forwards stood up in the second half. They had some really good moments, some good hangers, some good contested marking. Didn't we see from Kemp and from Boxer and Best took some really, really good marks. And Wakeland as well, Lockie, he's becoming real aerialist in this comp, isn't he? Like every week he's a hanger threat, and that's what we want to see. I like Wakeland's game today because he had a quiet first half, but he didn't worry about it. He came out in the second half and did some really good things for his team. So well done to him, and well done to McCormack as well. Shout out to him. I think that's a really, really good game. It's not the typical full forward kicking 6 or 7, but 3 goals, some contested marks in a low-scoring Division 1 game is a good day out. So well done to him.
Yeah, he did. He played really well. We've also got the boundary rider, the wizard, the ultra runner, the marathon man, whatever you want to call him. You've got about 57 different nicknames. We might need to pick one for you before we go on air next week. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Jack Bennell. Jack, how was it down boundary side? Obviously a little bit cold, but the sun wouldn't have been too bad.
No, it was actually really pleasant down there at ground level, Lockie. The ground was bathed in sunshine for the majority, and the style of footy probably didn't reflect what we probably hoped. I did open up there a little bit in that last quarter. Didn't Adam a few goals either side, but for the most part it was pretty contested. But yeah, loved what I saw from both teams.
I guess now's as good a time as any to do it. It's been a little bit of an elephant in the room. I'm moving on. I'm moving up to Broken Hill in, I guess, Friday really is when I leave. I start the car at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. And the man sitting next to me will not be boundary side next weekend. He'll be sitting where I am, and he'll be alongside Adam Jeffries for the rest of this season and beyond into 2026. And then obviously as well, he'll be your caller on grand final day, which I can't wait to have a little bit of a look at. I'll certainly be watching from up in me apartment at Broken Hill. Good luck to you, mate. And yeah, massive congratulations on the new gig.
Yeah, thanks, mate, and same to you. It's a credit to all the work you do. You told me you only had about 3 hours sleep. You're a little bit late this morning due to all the other work that you're doing and packing for your new venture up in Broken Hill as well. So yeah, credit to all the work that you do, mate. I see your mug sometimes on AFL broadcasts, weaving your way in the change rooms as well, mate. So you'll succeed, no doubt, in your new venture. And when the roster did come out that I was commentating on grand final day with Adam, it was definitely a pinch me moment. Yeah, can't wait for that day, but can't wait for the rest of the footy from here on in as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going to be their grand final day. To be honest with you, if I was taking bets now, I'd be having a little bit of a look at. I think probably Port District will be there, and I think even though they lost today, probably St. Peter's will be there as well. Golden Grove are probably a sneaky chance as well.
Just a quick little one from me as well, Lockie. The team has pitched in. Got your little going away present as well. So I know we can't push the sponsor's product, but just so everyone's aware, that is a top shelf bottle. And
thank you,
it's
guys.
been good working with you. Wish you well. Looking forward to working with you, Jack, as well for the rest of the season. We're going to have some good games towards the back end, aren't we? So good luck to you, Lockie.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm sure you guys are going to do absolutely brilliant. And if you don't, you'll hear it from me as well. So that's that's all good. But for the one last time for myself, a massive thank you to our sponsors: Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by RTC, High Five e-bikes, Dartfish and Archies, as well as Kimberley Resorts. We're going to mention it as well, the 3-night stay in Broome. The winner of the Mark of the Year, Finn Wakeler, might have put his hand up there. Well, not only today, but just over the course of the season as well. Goal of the Year as well, a tray of Jags Meatworks. There's one for the Nuff file for sure. And then after that as well, there's so many more great prizes. The $5,000 High Five e-bike. I can't wait to see who wins that. You guys can win one as well. So there's 2 bikes going away. One goes to a player, so unfortunately for you guys watching along at home, that's not going to be yourselves. But the other one goes to a fan that engages the most on the Adelaide.
The biggest
Footy League.
nuffy.
Yeah, the biggest nuffy. Absolutely, indeed. And then as well, a massive thank you as well to Hugo, who's been producing for the last year and a half ever since I've been involved in this. He does an excellent job. James on the camera has taught me more stuff than I'll ever remember. He's been absolutely fantastic as well. A massive thank you to him. And Yushin on the camera as well. He's been great giving us our wide shots and all that stuff. Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you week in, week out. Not only when Phil was obviously sitting where I was, but obviously as well since I've taken over from him. A massive thank you to him as well. Tommy Javor, John Douglas. There's so many names. I'm going to stop listing them before I forget somebody. And Jack, good luck, mate. You'll do absolutely brilliantly. And a massive thank you to you guys for watching along at home. It really does mean, we don't get to do this without the fans tuning in. So thank you so much, guys, for that as well. But enjoy the song if you are Rostrevor. They got the job done, 7 points. 69 plays 62.